Hey everybody, it's Tom. It's about 10 to 6 on Wednesday, July 15th, and I'm here to call the SSFA Strat Football playoff game between Jacksonville J, that's Jay Villing, and our very own Dennis Crowley. Dennis normally co-hosts a lot of shows with me. Now look, anybody listening to this knows who we are, so there's not a need for a lot of build-up. Game is scheduled to kick off in about 9 minutes. That's 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We have a lot of West Coast guys in these leagues, including some of the important guys like Ed Barrow, NFL Ed. And I think we've gravitated towards a lot of people using Pacific time as the default. Usually you would hear 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, or maybe it's just local to whatever area code, no, whatever time zone you live in. Now, this is a divisional playoff game. We're down to the round of 8. We already had one game played. My Jets defeated Ron Dickinson's Oakland Raiders 13-3 last night. So I've advanced to the semifinals. Ron had a great season, did a great job with the defense. Now, Jacksonville was 10-6 in the regular season, and they won their first round playoff game, wild card playoff game against Green Bay, I believe. Don't have that in front of me right now. 24-10. I think I called that game. I know I called the Green Bay game. I think it was Jay that won that game. And Dennis was 11-5. He's not the number 5 seed. That's in the Strat-O-Matic League Manager, which doesn't have the seeding because it doesn't have our tiebreakers and things like that. So let me see if I can bring that up by quickly accessing the website. I came up a little early today. I wanted to do a little pregame, but really, unless I come on early enough, I don't really do a pregame because I don't really give you a good pregame because I end up wasting all my time talking about things. But yeah, Jacksonville defeated Green Bay 24-10 in the wild card round. Jacksonville was the number 8 seed out of 11 for this year's postseason. 10-6 record for Jay, who does have a championship in his SSFA past, and I think makes the playoffs pretty much every year and has had some success, definitely. Dennis's club is the number 2 seed, the 11-5 Seattle Seahawks. In this league, we use the average run and pass defense cards for the Strat team defense for the draft leagues. But in the playoffs, the home team gets a home field advantage where they get bumped up to using the good as opposed to the average. So that's always helpful. You get some more interceptions, and I haven't analyzed the cards, but presumably you get, fewer completions allowed and things like that. Maybe less yardage, I don't know. Maybe fewer receiver readings, I don't know. I used to know those things a little better, but I don't memorize things as much as I used to. I just kind of have to look them up. I know I have that stuff written down somewhere in a spreadsheet somewhere that I could access if I wanted to. If we look at these two teams, they played a great game in the regular season. It was in the fourth quarter. It was a 31-27 victory for Dennis. That's Seattle. And that's why Dennis is 11-5 and Jacksonville's 10-6. That's why Dennis got the bye and Jacksonville had to play in the wild card. So that was a big game. And this has been that type of season. As everyone knows, we've talked about a lot of times. 11 teams in the playoffs, 9 of them were 10-6 or 11-5. So one team 12-4, one team 9-7. Speaking of which, tomorrow night, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, you're going to have the Kansas City at St. Louis playoff game. The Cinderella Chiefs taking on the number 1 seed. So we'll see if midnight shows up or if we have a little more magic coming out of those Aaron Rodgers-led Chiefs. Nathan's got a real good offense, and he knows how to use it real well. And so that back 7 on the Chiefs would be really put to the test tomorrow night. I'm hoping I can call that game. I'm not certain. I have some plans during the day. Oh, I said tomorrow night. It's going to be Friday night. So it's Friday night, July 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm hoping I can call that game. I have some plans, so I might not be able to. But I think I'll probably be able to. I'm hopeful of that. We got to get back home and take care of a couple things, and then I can hop on and call it. So if I plan accordingly, I'm pretty sure I can call that game. And the only other divisional game remaining then will be the number 6 seed. Well, I'm saying number 6 seed because I'm looking at the league manager again. Bad habits die hard. But they are the 6 seed. The Baltimore Ravens, 10-6. Fresh off of their wild card victory over the Atlanta Falcons, 28-20. That's Jeff Bevier's team, which defeated Mick's team 28-20. Jeff's going to go take on Butch in Cincinnati. That should be a close game. I think two kind of defensive-minded teams and or coaches. Although Butch has got Matt Ryan and Jamal Charles, so that's gonna be an interesting game. I think it'll be a little scoring one possibly. And tonight's game should be a good game, or today's game, depending on I guess where you are in the country. I'm on the East Coast. Look at a couple of things here. When it comes to point differential, and these teams are only one game apart, and they played each other. It was a 4-point game. So Seattle was plus 87 on the season. That was 6th in the league, it looks like. Jacksonville was a little more modest, plus 43, which was 10th in the league. Okay, in point differential. When it came, now Dennis's team is not as high scoring as usual, but it doesn't mean he can't put a lot of points on you. Jacksonville was 10th in the league in scoring at 24.4 points a game. Is what it looks like here. This doesn't seem to be sorted properly. Perhaps maybe it did something stupid. I'm not sure. No, it looks okay, I think. No, it's not right. Something's wrong. Well, they're roughly 10th in the league, let's say, at 24.4 points a game. And Seattle was roughly 12th in the league at 24 points a game. So only half a point a game difference, really, between those two teams. And they're sort of in the middle league, which means defensively they're probably pretty strong, and indeed they are. You see Jacksonville had the number 5 defense in terms of scoring allowed, 21.8. Seattle number 2 at 18.6, a very strong number. Only 4 teams allowed fewer than 20 points a game. Of course, Ron led the pack at 14.1. Big drop off between him and everyone else. So you might see a game more of the 21-17 motif. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. When it comes to yardage from scrimmage, Jacksonville was, this is all accurate, I believe, number 8 in the SSFA at 367 per game. Seattle was number 5 at 377, so a little advantage to the Seahawks there. Defensively, you had Jacksonville was number 3 in the league in yardage allowed, 308 yards a game. Seattle was number 5 at 323. So you see a lot of stats that look pretty equal. And again, these teams played a 31-27 regular season game. I'm waiting for Dennis to send me the IP. I'm not sure if Jay is on yet, so we have a little bit of time to kill. I'll try to look over the teams real quick. Give you an idea what's going on here. Make sure I'm broadcasting well. This broadcast seems to be fine. Microphone is on. No spectators. We may not get any at this odd time. Plus, the game was originally scheduled for later, so short notice as well. Might not get any spectators here in the hangout, but you probably get some in the game itself. The Russell Wilson-led Seattle Seahawks. What else is new? Russell Wilson is on virtually all of Dennis's future, continuous teams. Russell Wilson, quarterback. Frank Gore, halfback. That's nice. Monty Ball is the other halfback if he needs some extra attempts. Although Dennis likes to run and run with Russell Wilson as well. Frank Gore had a huge year for Dennis, like 2,200 yards or something. So Russell Wilson, quarterback. Frank Gore is the running back. At Roddy White, Michael Floyd, and Luke Wilson. The receiving targets, Floyd's got that great long pass card, which is maxed out and had a big average as a rookie. Or I'm not sure he's a rookie this year. Second year guy? Whatever he was. As a young player. Roddy White is a dot. I didn't know that. And is maxed out short, 1, 3, 6, 12, 15. Does not maxed out deep, and it's no long gain, so he's not nearly as dangerous as Floyd, but still a good possession receiver type of card. Luke Wilson has a dot, cannot go deep, and is pretty bad short. One of the more overrated cards we've talked about. Let's see. Center 6'5", guard, center 6'5". Everyone else in the line is a 4 run blocking, except the right guard, Terrell Wharton, is a 5. The blocking back, Michael Robinson, is a 5. If Dennis goes blocking back, which I think he does often. Pass blocking is okay, not great. Left tackle 7 is fine. Center 5, right tackle 5. Oh, okay, let me start again. Left tackle 7 is very good. 3 of the guys are a 5. The right guard's a 4. So you can sack that. Russell Wilson, a lot of must runs in the card, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't throw picks, really. 3-4 defense for Dennis, which is one of the better, the better of the 2 front 7 formations on your defense. In a very general sense, in a vacuum, all the things being equal. I remember really liking this I remember really liking this defense in terms of how it plays out in Strat football. And Dennis is a real good coach, so it's no surprise that his team did well. And he just messaged me an update. We have about 5 minutes until we get that IP, which is good. Means I can wrap up Dennis's team and take a quick run at Jacksonville's team. But Dennis's 3-4 goes 4-6-4 on the defensive line. You get the big nose tackle 6, which is great. You don't feel like you have to put an inside linebacker up there nearly as often as if you don't have a 6 there. He's going to stop some things, and guys are intimidated of running at that 6. So there's a lot of benefits to that nose tackle 6. One of the more valuable things you could have in a Strat football defense. Probably, it'd be hard for me to say whether I have a nose tackle 6 or a corner 6. If it was perennial, I'll take the nose tackle 6. I can double team for the corners, but I love my cover corners. I would take 2 corner 6s over nose tackle 6, but that's not fair. I'm taking 2 players over 1. Anyway, nose tackle 6. The defensive ends are only a 4, but Michael Bennett gives good pass rush with a 10. And here's what the out linebacking core is very strong. Goes 6'6", 0'5". That inside linebacker 0, not that big a deal in a 3-4, especially when you have 6s all around him. But Tamba Hali as a 6'12", can pop up and help the end run. You're not going to throw at him very much. We could pop back into double coverage if you want, but you're probably going to blitz him more with that 12. Carlos Dantu, the 6, can slide out to cover Holly when he blitzes. Or can double team a strong safety, but you'll probably use a 0 inside linebacker, Vinny Ray, for that. And Dansby even has an 8 pass rush, and Dennis likes to blitz. You might see that happening a lot. Jason Werlitz surprisingly retired this offseason at a young age for religious purposes, I believe. Just wants to proselytize, I think is the word. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's a 5'12", 1. So you got 2 12s over there and a 3-4, which is nice. Which means if he blitzes both of them, you've got 2 12s and a 10. Actually, the 10 becomes a 12, the 2 blitzes. So, and this 5 can also help plug the right end spot where you might try and beat Dennis right over there. And he's also good in coverage. He might not get thrown at as much, so you could drop him back to double coverage. Actually, he'll get thrown at quite a bit because he gets 6s on the other side. But tough to target this group and say I'm going to throw flat passes at them. So right away, you're limiting a fundamental play of the offense, which is the flat pass. But you're still going to throw your flats. So he's going to be smart about it. Again, that nose tackle 6 helps because he does not have to bring guys up, and he can he can pop the 0 out to the 5. Then he's got 2 6s and 2 men in the other zone. And you can't throw a fight against that. You're going to try and beat him downfield. You got a 5 at left corner, 4 at right corner. So you're going to see probably Troy Polamalu, the free safety, double teaming that right corner 4 a lot. You'll see the inside linebacker drop back to double the strong safety. So I feel like with this defense, you're just going to get a lot more offensive plays that are run against 6s or run into double coverage or running with men in the zone or trying to throw a flat. And there's even decent pass rush. So it's a tough defensive thing to call plays against. Try and do a quick special teams look. That was really important in my game against Ron. I missed a field goal. He missed 2, including having a 2-11 kick blocked and with 2.5 minutes left that would have pulled him within a touchdown so he could try an onside kick. Dennis has real good opponent coverage on the kicks, 10, 11, 12. The punts are fine 2, 5, 6, and 3. Kicker kicks a lot of touchbacks, it looks like. Punches got plus 50 on 7 yards, which is great. Does have a block on 12, so watch out for that. Dwayne Harris, good return man, is the number 1. He's got a TD on 2, and then he's got plus 22 and plus 14 on 9 and 10. Jeremy Curley, not too bad as a 2-back. Harris, a great kick returner this year as well, and has been a great returner in his young career. 2 is plus. I traded him to Dennis a couple years ago when I was rebuilding. 2 is plus 90, 6 is plus 32. So one of the best kick return cards in the set. Traveris Cadet's 2-back is not too bad. Has got plus 88 on plus 82 on a 2, plus 24 on a 6. So pretty solid return units. The kicker is Ryan Lindell, 2-11 for the 1 to 12, 2 to 9 and 12 out to the 22. Only 2 to 7 and 11 and 12, 23 to 32. That's pretty bad. And 2 to 6 and 12 from deep, which is decent, but overall a below average field goal kicker, but they're still pretty good nowadays. But watch out for them if Dennis is getting anywhere into that territory of 23 to 35, maybe even 13 to 35, that he's going to try and go for it aggressively. He likes to go for it into very unconventional settings, even like 4th and 8 and stuff like that. So if you get a 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. He might run the ball and try and get closer, knowing he's going to go for it on 4th down. Dennis is a really good coach, which I think is the main reason this team is as dangerous as it is. Because because you got the pieces, but you got to play them the right way. The offense isn't great, so you got to call those plays the right way. Jacksonville J, I think he's got Mike Glennon. I keep thinking he has Andy Dalton, but that could be a different league. That could be in me for the Rays, Andy Dalton. Yeah, he's got Mike Glennon, but Adrian Peterson. See, that great running back card is such an equalizer because Dennis can't just sit there and just pass. And AP's got the type of card where Jake could probably feel like, I'll run at that nose tackle 6. AP's pretty good. I don't have to limit myself to the defensive end force. So that is going to be interesting. Leonard's got a low turnover card. He's okay, flat and short. I think Jay played it a little close to the vest with this team. Not a lot of bombs. I think you throw short passes to Josh Gordon to try and get those receiver readings. But yeah, Glenn at quarterback, yeah, AP at halfback. AP's fatigue is a problem because he only gets about 27 carries unfatigued, and there's no one else on this team that can carry the ball even like 5 or 6 times with any kind of, even slightly below average ability. So that hurts. You got Josh Gordon, who's got the best receiving card in the set. You got Wes Welker, solid for possession. Antonio Gates is still not too bad. Excellent pass blocking. All these 7s, that's going to hurt Dennis's strategy. Although if you free safety blitz and bring the house against all these 7s, you still get some good percentages. So I wonder if Dennis is aware of that and if he's going to go for that. I've been analyzing the pass rush chart in the last month or so and learning a little more about it that I probably should have learned a long time ago. Some interesting things in there that you might not realize. Basically, if you're free safety blitzing and you don't get the D, but you get the blank on the white die, you get like an increase in your percentages in situations where you'd otherwise not have much of a chance to sack a guy, like a 5 and a 4 or something like that. 3-4 defense for Jay. Oh, this is the team. Sea of 5s. We have the sea of hands being talked about a lot with the unfortunate passing of Kenny Stabler, the Snake, RIP, last week. So the sea of 5s. Defense has got 2 4s on it. The left inside linebacker Jarrell Freeman, the 4-9, and free safety Mike Adams. They're both these 6s next year, and they're both in the Colts next year, so that's weird. Freeman will be a split 6-0, which is pretty cool. 6 against the pass, 0 against the run. The entire rest of the defense is 5s. They got a little bit of pass rush. Justin Tuck's at 11 at left end. So basically, defensive line 5-5-5, linebackers 5-4, 5-5, secondary 5-5-5 with a 4 at free safety. Literally all 5s. They got plenty of 4s backing up, so that's good if he gets injured. Except maybe the defensive end, it looks like, including a couple in the secondary. So extra defensive back 4 is always, reasonable to have. You should probably do that if you're trying to compete. But he goes, got 11 left end. He's got an 8 at right end. He's got a 9 at inside linebacker. He's got a couple of chances at a sack here. See, Jada, I don't think likes to double team a lot. You're gonna let Russell Wilson get those must run readings without double teaming anybody. That could be a problem. Now, there's a chance that I may actually have to leave the broadcast for a good 20 minutes or so. Something I forgot that I had tentatively scheduled. The person may or may not have come to the house. Someone's supposed to come to the house and take care of something. And if they do, I'll have to leave the broadcast for 20 minutes. My apologies to Dennis. I'll try to leave the game screen on, at least to let that get going. Let's look at this. I think I picked Seattle to win this game, and I can see why so far. I think AP's going to have to go off if Jacksonville's going to win. Opponent kick returns for Seattle, real good, 7-8, 10-11, but a long in on 12. Opponent punt returns, real good, 7-8, 3-2, but a long in on 12. My math showed me that those long gains on 12 don't hurt you as much as you would think. I used to hate the idea of having them, but in Summer Sprint, I drafted some coverage units that did have them. Having said that, I bet you we see a long gain today. Wouldn't be surprised. Because I just said that it doesn't hurt you as much, that's why. Let's see, as a punter, you got Donnie Jones. You got a block on 12. 7's 47 yards. Not as many touchbacks as you'd like. Dennis has some good returners. 18 touchbacks. That's pretty decent, I guess, but I don't know. So like everybody's got 20 plus nowadays. I haven't analyzed it too quickly. Here comes the IP, and we're going to get started. Not great returns for Jacksonville. I definitely picked Dennis in this game, but anybody could win. Robbie Gould is better than Ryan Lindell is for Seattle. So that's an advantage for Dennis. And I think the person came to take care of the thing right before we're going to kick off. Bear with me, and I got the IP from Dennis. I'm going to try and type that in first. One minute, folks. I'm going to mute my microphone. Okay, it looks like the doorbell was not for me, it looks like, because no one has knocked on my door. And I'm in the game. We're ready for the kickoff. Oh, I need to change a couple of things here. I don't think I have animation on. Let's see. I want the animation on, of course. I think it's easier for you guys to follow. Jay had some problems. I had to reboot. But we're only 10 minutes behind schedule, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And we should be ready to go here. Jay is the lower seed. All the seeding for the semifinals is still up in the air. Only one game has been played. My Jets advanced. So we'll know a little more in a couple hours. And then we'll know a little more Friday night. And I've emailed the Baltimore and Cincinnati coaches the fourth semifinal, quarterfinal game. And obviously that game will hopefully be played in the next few days as well. And I'll try to call that one. See, I told the guys to wait exactly 2 minutes and then kick off. So they're discussing the new cards that came out today. Not the cards themselves, but the ratings file came out today. With my disability, I have a hard time using my hands, so I don't like to type in. And here we go. We're underway. And the first kickoff looks like Seattle's kicking off. Yep, Ryan Liddell. It's a touchback. And I don't like this. I'm playing without the game noises, and which I do when Dennis is calling with me. But I think I do better with the game noises. So here we are. Jay comes out, 1st and 10, 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver, 1 running back formation. Very popular formation in Strat. I like to use it a lot in draft leagues, of course. We can get a decent second tight end, often a little better receiver, or a lot better receiver than a blocking back. Here's a short pass to Wes Welker. Josh Gordon is double teamed. Dennis is doing one blitz, one guy in the line. So you get a defender extra plus 12. That's going to be against a 4 defender, and it's incomplete. That is Captain Munnerlin is the 5. My bad. It's the left corner. I must have been looking at Antonio Gates, who's covered by a 4. You got a 4 strong safety, a 4 right corner for Dennis. You can see a lot of double coverage of Josh Gordon, who's covered by a 4, and then Antonio Gates covered by a 4. But you got AP running the ball. So Jacksonville's got some definite opportunities here, and they also have good pass blocking. So we'll see what happens. There's a looking pass to Wes Welker. Dennis is splitting 3 guys to get a 0 in the flat pass. It should be a good play for the offense. And Glennon connects to Welker for a 5-yard gain. And they'll set up a 3rd down and 5 for Jacksonville at their own 25. There was a D reading there. It was a 7 on a 13 with the blitzes. On the flat pass, that was only a 1-22 sack out of 1-100. And the random roll was 96. 3rd and 5. Jay comes out in the 3 wide formation. Julian Edelman, much more effective in the NFL than Strat. Although we'll see with the new rules. I don't know what kind of yak rating he got. This is the first year of the yak coming out today, not affecting this game, of course, but the games will be coming in September and October. Pitch out left to Adrian Peterson. There's a 5 linebacker back there, a 4 defensive end for the nickel formation. Offensive odds at end +9 and +4. It's only going to be a 4-yard gain from the 3 wide, of course. No one over there to block. Josh Gordon. And it's going to be 4th and 1, and Donnie Jones comes out to punt. So 3 and out for Jacksonville on the first possession. And Jones rolls a 7. That's a 47-yard kick. And that's going to be all the way down to about the 27-yard line, if my math is right. And Dwayne Harris is the 1 back, and he signals for a fair catch. And Dennis comes out on offense and make sure my mic's not muted. Nope, my mic is good to go. Dennis had an unfortunate mic muting incident last night that caused him to miss virtually the entire broadcast. All he was talking about only to himself. He thought that they were listeners. That was not good, Dennis. Dennis comes out in the blocking back formation. Russell Wilson, quarterback. Frank Gore, halfback. Michael Robinson, the blocking back. Handoff to Gore, the middle. No linebackers there. And Gore gets the dreaded 5. 1 yard gets wrong on his card, but there's a personal foul in the defense. First penalty of the game. 15 yards. A big pickup for the Seahawks. as they're out to their own 40-yard line. Michael Floyd is the split end. No, Roddy White's the split end. Michael Floyd's a flanker. Luke Wilson tight end. Michael Robinson blocking back. Dennis goes default blocking back with this team. M-Rob is a 5-4. Here's a linebacker to Frank Gore. There's one man there. Linebacker in zone -1 to +3. He's a 5, and it's a 6 on the white die. So 3-yard gain for Frank Gore. Creates a 2nd down and 7. I should bring up what have they done today. I don't usually use that when I play myself, but when I'm playing in the game, rather. 2nd down and 7, and Jay showing blitz. Interesting. Does not have a dominating pass rush. Has a decent pass rush. Russell Wilson not great on flat pass. Dennis doesn't like to throw it. I encouraged him earlier in the year to throw it more often, and I think he has been throwing it a little more often. Not that he needs my help, but people talk strategy. And it's a draw play to Frank Gore at the middle, and he's 6 on Gore's card. Wrong is 1 yard. Gore's that workman-like style card, but he's got short gain. He's got a short gain here or there. He's got some positive yards here or there. He's got +20 here or there. So Frank can do some things. That's why he had such a great year for Dennis. I'm probably underselling his card. 3rd and 6. Dennis goes to 3-wide pistol against a nickel 3-3-5. Big 3rd down here as Dennis tries to get into Jacksonville territory, or Jacksonville can force a punt. Roddy White looks like Dennis does not have a proper formation in here, but no one says anything. Short pass to Luke Wilson, and 9 on Russell Wilson's card is complete for 14 yards and a 1st down. That's going to be all the way down to the Jacksonville 42-yard line. I had a problem with my depth chart last night, too. I need to email Ed about that. My 3rd wide receiver was not correct. That was what happened here with Dennis as well. Maybe there was a problem with my preseason coach file. I don't think so. I was pretty careful, but you never know. Human error. Don't worry, Ed. I was probably at my end. Maybe Dennis is end, too. We'll find out. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks as they're moving well on this drive. They're in Jacksonville territory. It's their first possession. Flat pass left to Frank Gore. Gets a 6 of the white die. It's a short gain, and Gore's going to take that down into field goal range easily, if not more. It's a 17-yard pickup for Frank Gore. White die 6, beating one of the many Jacksonville 5s of the defense. And Seattle's in good shape. We are only 4 minutes and 12 seconds into this SSFA quarterfinal playoff game. 1st and 10 Seattle to Jacksonville 25. The 11 and 5 Seahawks hosting the 10 and 6 Jacksonville Jaguars. Dennis Crowley coaching Seattle. Jay Villing coaching Jacksonville. Linebook Frank Gore, 1 man in zone, guessed wrong. 6 on Gore's card is 1 yard. Jay's been putting 1 man in the linebook and blitzing everyone else. He's done that a lot here in the early going. He does not fear Russell Wilson's flat pass ability. And we did see 1 draw play from Dennis, although there was no one in that zone anyway when that play happened. Gore only 6 yards on 4 carries so far. Flat pass right to Michael Robinson. This time, Jay leaves his guys home, and it's a good thing he does, as it's on the defense's card. 6 is +3. Would have been a 10-yard gain if Jay had blitzed or if we had seen a white die reading. 3rd and 6 for Seattle. Big stop for Jay here. Got to give up field goals instead of touchdowns. Got to score touchdowns instead of field goals. And in general football strategy, I see. It's Kendall Wright as the 3rd receiver for Seattle, so he gets lined up in a regular receiver slot. 3rd and 6 from the nickel. Russell Wilson drops back to pass, fires over the middle, complete 13 yards at a 1st down to Luke Wilson. I think that's Luke Wilson's 2nd 1st down, but there's a penalty on the play, and it's on the offense. Holding against the Seahawks brings back the big 1st down that would have put Dennis inside the 10. Of course, Dennis had a personal foul help him earlier in the drive. But now it's 3rd and 16 for Seattle to Jacksonville 31. Dennis is not conservative. A lot of other guys would do something conservative here and try a field goal. Flat pass right to Luke Wilson. 6 on Dennis's card is a 4-yard gain. It'll be Ryan Lindell, who's only, I think, 2 to 7, 11 to 12 for this 44-yard attempt. I looked at that in the pregame. And the defense going for the block, and 3 is good. So Lindell splits the uprights. It's a 44-yard field goal, and the Seahawks lead 3-0 midway through the 1st quarter. Big stop by Jacksonville. And here's a short kickoff by Lindell, only to the 15-yard line. That's going to get returned 25 yards by David Reed all the way out to the 40. So Jacksonville's going to have very fine field position here on their 2nd drive of the game, 2nd possession of the game. It remains to be seen whether or not they will actually get a drive together. I believe I'm the only one watching this game right now, but I know guys watch the YouTube videos when they come out later on. And here comes Jacksonville. Glennon, the quarterback. AP, the running back. I don't remember Jay throwing hardly any bombs against Green Bay. And I doubt we'll see too many today either. Here's a long pass to Zach Miller against the run. As soon as I say that, I know no one's listening. I mean, I know Jay's not in here. Dennis is in here. That's pretty funny. Receiver reading on Zach Miller is incomplete. That's the problem when you throw to these tight ends or blocking backs who aren't that great, but have something there. Only 10 units of completion on Zach Miller's card, but Jay was probably hoping you'd see some double coverage on Josh Gordon, or that Dennis would simply just run. But hey, it was worth a shot. 2nd down and 10. Got to keep him honest. Let's see if he runs the ball now. Sometimes guys follow up a bomb attempt with a run. Psychologically, I know Dennis talked about that. I got away with one. He goes right back to Zach Miller. Single coverage again. Zach Miller's the 2nd tight end. Okay, so he's covered by 5. And Glennon has to dump it off underneath it. It's going to be a nice 9-yard pickup. That's going to set up a big 3rd down and 1. I don't see any penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Jacksonville at their own 49. That was a pass rush situation, but Jacksonville has 4 sevens on the offensive line, including Ryan Khalil, who handled Dontari Poe on that pass rushing situation. 3rd down and 1 for Jacksonville from their own 49. They go with the regular formation. Adrian Peterson, 2 tight ends. Dennis Pitt is the 2nd tight end now. I don't think there was an injury. I'm not sure what he's doing out there, but he's there. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Jay seemed a little mystified by this as well, as he or he's just taking his time to call a play, but he calls a play. It's a quarterback keeper for Glennon. Adrian Peterson being keyed. So he wants 2 to 9 on his own card. Offensive center plus 10 or plus 3. Glennon's at the keeper, gets 10 yards. It's a bit of a silly Strat-O-Matic play. I think there should be a cap on these quarterback keepers. When you see everybody at the defense like completely line of scrimmage for the run, and you get a good center block, and Mike Glennon runs for 10 yards and 3rd and 1. That doesn't really happen in the NFL, not that I can see. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville at the Seattle 41. They have a nice little drive going now. Glennon's outgaining Adrian Peterson so far as I can see. Here's a screen pass left to Wes Welker. There are 2 men in the zone. Nice read by Dennis. It's the first screen pass I think we've seen. He's got 2 men there. Intercepted 2 to 3 on Glennon's card. 10 is incomplete. Now the rookie Glennon, an uncharacteristically low amount of interceptions for the year as a rookie NFL quarterback. I still don't understand why Tampa Bay didn't give him more of a shot. But Lovie Smith was not the guy who drafted him, and it was year 2 for Glennon. So Josh McCown came in. Now they drafted Jameis Winston. Here's a long pass to Josh Gordon. There's nobody there, and he's covered by a 4. Defense is run king Adrian Peterson. Glennon fires downfield. Gordon wide open, holds it in. It's only a matter of whether he's going to get in the end zone now. Gordon getting down inside the 10, and it's going to be touchdown. Touchdown, Jacksonville Jaguars. Dennis sold out for the run key and keyed Adrian Peterson, and Mike Glennon went up top to Josh Gordon against a 4 with no men in the zone. Are you kidding me? A 41-yard touchdown. I don't like that run key. Just run, leave your free safety back there, get a little help. It wouldn't have mattered. It was on Glennon's card. Of course, Dennis does a fine job with his team. Doesn't need my feedback on good or bad calls, and we all make bad calls. And along the way, the extra point was blocked, which is not a small incident. Dennis went for the block. I don't go for the blocks. I always feel like I get penalties on the kickoff, but the kick was blocked, and it's only 6-3 Jacksonville. 6:18 to go in the first quarter. And then we had a touchback from Robbie Gould, the Jacksonville kicker. Here's a pitch out left to Frank Gore. Gore pops a 4 short gain in his car. That's a nice run. He gets almost 20 yards. Frank Gore runs for 19 yards. He rolls 3 on the old short gain chart. You see that end run wrong column for Gore is nice. 3, 4, 7, and 12 are all short gains or more, and he has positive yardage elsewhere. Jay's not calling run. He's been blitzing a lot, but not as much in the last few plays. So then it says, all right, I'm going to go for my best running play. I'm not worried about calling run. And do a little more explosion. I've seen enough of these 6+1s. Pitch out left to Gore again. No one there, but defense calls run. Defensive end plus 8 or plus 21. He's a 6. He's going to make the tackle. Oh, he makes the shoestring tackle. Carlos Dunlap, the fine defensive end from the Cincinnati Bengals, is a 5'8". And on the box scores, it was defensive end plus 8 or plus 21. Gore gets the 8-yard gain. Frank Gore getting it going now. 6 carries for 33 yards. 2nd and 2 Seattle at their own 47. Defense going 3-4, showing blitz. Monty Ball checks in the game. You got to preserve those carries, bringing those back up running backs on 2nd and short yardage. There's a flat pass left to Monty Ball. Defense sells out, gets his pass to blitz everybody. Gets the receiver wrong, incomplete. Monty Ball not very good there. 2, 7, and 10 incomplete. That's a 2nd level running back card. 3rd level if you really want to count the old Roger Craig styles with the 9 only incomplete. But by any stretch of the imagination, a little below average, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 2, Frank Gore checks back in naturally. big third down for the Seahawks. They trail 6-3. They want to take advantage of the couple of first downs they had here, the big 19-yard run from Gore. I wonder if Dennis will go for it if he misses it here. He loves to go for it. Linebacker Frank Gore. There's one linebacker there. Defense getting pass. And Gore rolls a 4 in his card for 5 yards at the first down. 27 out of 36 units on Gore's card would have been a first down there. 3 yards or more. 5 and 6 the only killers. Dennis has already rolled those about 3 times. 1st and 10 for Seattle at the Jacksonville 48. Gore now 7 carries for 38 yards. Doing yeoman's work. Flat pass left to Gore. Defense guessing run. Wilson's card complete. 7 plus 9. Seattle is at the Jacksonville 39-yard line. See, Russell Wilson gets wrong. 4 and 5 incomplete, but mathematically, that's still fine. I know you look at the card, you say it's ugly. I want, everything but 5 complete or something, but you can still throw flat passes. Don't be too shy there. 2nd and 1. Defense showing blitz again. I don't know why he's doing that. Linebacker draw. There's one Mike guy there. Gets a defensive nose tackle +1 and +12. And Dominican Sue makes the play. It's a 4-3-6. Nerfs it down to a 5 and then 3-4, but he can make that play and holds Gore to a 1-yard gain. Jacksonville showing a lot of blitz here. Not showing blitz in this play. 1st and 10, they can't by league mandate. Only blitz on 2nd, 3rd, or 4th down. Short pass to Roddy White. There's only 3 men there. There's 1 blitz, so Dennis should be in good shape here. And he gets a dump off for 10 yards at the first down to the Jacksonville 28. Looks like that's going to be one of his tight ends, a blocker, or maybe Michael Robinson. It's Michael Robinson making the catch after making the block, apparently, because he got a D and a 6, but there were no asterisks. So Michael is not needed in pass block protection there, so he leaked that into the flat, and Russell Wilson connected with him. Wilson 6 of 7 for 57 yards here in the first quarter. Play action pass to Roddy White. Defense looks run. 9 complete, 14 yards. First down Seahawks at the Jacksonville 14. Seahawks trailing 6-3 late first quarter, but in the middle of a very nice long drive. Jacksonville shows blitz as they can inside the 20. Dennis mixing it up. There are a lot of flat passes. Keep those linebackers back, which is good. Flat pass right to Luke Wilson. One guy there. 4 is incomplete on Russell Wilson's card. This time Wilson to Wilson. And Tyson Clabo, the right tackle for the Seahawks, is taken off the field. He will not return. He should be back for the second half. And he's replaced by a 0 run blocking. And what kind of pass blocking as I try to scroll and hover? A 0-4, Eric Pears, so not too bad. Defense showing blitz, 2nd and 10 from the Jacksonville 14. Seattle trying to get a go-ahead touchdown, or maybe they have to settle for a game-time field goal. Short pass, Roddy White. Defense gets a run with 4 men in zone. Receiver reading, and Roddy White is 16 yards. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson with another play action. They've been running the ball well all game, and Jay knows that Dennis will run an end run with Russell, so a little more dangerous 2nd and 10 than your normal 2nd and 10. And Dennis went for the pass. Dennis is aggressive. Got a receiver reading on Roddy White. Very fine card. Pretty good yardage for a guy with no long gains. And a 16-yard reading on the receiver. Gives him a 14-yard touchdown. Obligatory nice drive from Jay to Dennis. And it's 10-6 Seahawks. That blocked extra point looming a little larger on the scoreboard now than it did a few minutes ago. 2 minutes to go in a high-scoring first quarter. And the kickoff from Ryan Lindell is a touchback. And Jacksonville will take over at their own 20-yard line. This game being played at a nice, enjoyable pace. So long pass to Antonio Gates, single coverage, but the free safety 6 is back there. And you have those good passing cards. Then it's only blitzing one guy. Jay's got the great pass blocking, and he gets a successful dump off for 9 yards from Mike Glennon to 1 Adrian L. Peterson. 2nd down to 1 Jacksonville at their own 29. The rookie Glennon 4 of 7 for 64 yards and a touchdown. The 2 tight end set with Zach Miller as your second tight end has been Jay's preferred formation. Although Dennis Pitta checked in on a 3rd and 1. I think might be better deep or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't remember. Dennis Pitta's AP has not carried the ball a lot so far. Been more of a decoy. He was a great decoy on the touchdown. When Dennis front keyed him on, I think, 1st and 10. There's a flat pass right to Wes Welker. There's nobody there, but defense getting pass. It's going to be right because they're a men on line of scrimmage. And then Glennon's call that's incomplete on a 10. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1. We saw a quarterback keeper on an earlier short yardage situation. It went for 10 yards. It went for a 10-yard gain with Glennon right up the middle. And those are pretty much Jay's only options. Glennon and Peterson, no one else on this team to run with. 3rd down and 1. Jackson off their own 29, a big 3rd down. Jay's conservative. If he doesn't get this, he's going to punt it. Which you probably should at your own 29 in the first quarter of a playoff game. I'm just saying. There are some crazy aggressive coaches out there who might go for it, including me. I've gone for a lot of crazy 4th downs, even in some big games. Looking past Wes Welker, there's no one there. Defense gets us right. Double teams Josh Gordon. He wants it on the defense's card. He went to 4-5-6, gets a 7 on Glennon's card, incomplete. Even on Glennon's card, you had 15 units of first down, and the 9 receiving units, probably on the 6 units, probably about 21 units on Glennon's card. Virtually the entire defensive card would be in first down, unless you got an incomplete on a receiver. Here's a punt from Donnie Jones. Going to be 49 yards to 2-back. That's Jeremy Curley. That's going to be down around, it looks like it's going to punt, it's going to bounce, and takes a great bounce for Jacksonville. It's about a 10-yard bounce, 11-yard bounce, which is a 60-yard net punt. And Seattle's going to take over at their own 11, 1st and 10. I'm sure Jay still would have rather had that first down, which he had a good chance of getting based upon the way the defense reacted and his very fine play call. 1st and 10, Seattle at their own 11. 36 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pitch out left to Frank Gore, but there's a linebacker there, and 8 is a 2-yard loss. Jay, again, is on Seattle's first possession, Jay was blitzing a lot, laid off it on the next couple of possessions as Dennis was throwing some flat passes, but now he goes back to it in that play. He's looking to stuff those run zones and guess pass, and dare Dennis to beat him at Russell Wilson. Guessed right, flat passes with no man in zone. Dennis had some success with that earlier. 2nd 12, Russell Wilson around left end, guessed right. It does gain 6 yards on snake eyes. It would have been a 25-yard run if Jay had guessed pass. Jay, I believe, had shown blitz that play, and then called the run. The old show blitz, call run routine. 3rd and 6 for Seattle as we move into the second quarter. They're at their own 15, Seahawks 10, Jacksonville 6. Whittle moves on to the SSFA semifinals. Pistol formation with 3 wide for the Seahawks. Kendall Wright, Roddy White, Michael Floyd, and Luke Wilson. Your receiving targets. Short pass, Roddy White is being double-teamed, but Wilson fires one in there, gets it complete on his own card on double-teamed. 9, right, wrong, and double-teamed. 14-yard first down for Russell to the double-teamed Roddy White. 1st and 10 for Seattle at their own 29. 10-6 Seahawks, early second quarter. Russell Wilson having a very fine game. Long pass, Roddy White. Defense gets his run. There was a man back there. Receiver reading incomplete. Roddy White is 18 units. 5, 6, 8, and 9 are incomplete, and Dennis rolled the 9. And there's a penalty on the play, holding against the Seahawks, adding insult to injury. Jacksonville accepts the penalty. 1st and 20 now for Seattle at their own 19. So even if it was complete, it would have been called back. But still, you get that receiver reading, long pass wrong, a decent receiver. You get pretty excited. Roddy White does not have any long gains. Can't really go more than 39 yards, although I believe he has a dot. I checked some of this stuff in the pregame. I did a little more pregame today than I usually do. Flat pass right to Michael Robinson. Defense calls run on 1st and 20. And then it's hoping for some kind of short gain or 10-yard completion. And sure enough, Russell gets a 9-yard completion on 7 on his own card to Emrob, who's got a couple of catches at least already. That's 3 catches, 22 yards for Emrob. 1 at least was a dump off. 2nd 11 for Seattle. Defense showing blitz, by which I mean showing safety blitz if you're new to Strat football. And it would be weird, I think, if you were listening to this and you indeed were new to Strat football. Flat pass right to Michael Robinson. Defense showing blitz again. Does only blitz as the safety. 7 on Russell's card as a 6-yard completion. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 5. That was again to Michael Robinson. He's being covered by Connor Barwin, who's a 5'6" this year, but will have a vastly improved rating next year. He's, I believe, a 6'12", 7 against the run with a 5 against the pass. 3rd and 5, Seattle at their own 34. Seattle goes 3 wide pistol, which has been Dennis's formation of choice in passing situations, 3rd and 5 or more. Short pass to Luke Wilson, who already has a couple of big 3rd downs, but this one's incomplete. The zone defense for Jacksonville with 4 men getting the job done. And we have a 4th and 5, and out comes Matt Bosher for the punt, and he booms it 49 yards. That's going to be down inside. It looks like it takes a bounce. No, down inside the 20, and a 3-yard return from the unspectacular Julian Edelman is okay. He's got 9 as 21 yards. That's pretty good. Snake Eyes is 43 yards. First, and so there's definitely a return game advantage for Seattle, including on the coverage where Jay has long gains on 12. But Jacksonville right now has got the ball. They're down 10-6 early second quarter in this SSFA quarterfinal playoff game. Here's a pitch out left to Adrian Peterson. We have not seen that many carries for AP so far. Running against a 4, gets a 1 yard, but there's a penalty on the play. In the lower left corner of my screen, unsportsmanlike conduct on Seattle. It's at the 15-yard gain on the penalty. And Jackson was out to their own 36. Seattle was on the receiving end of one of those on their first scoring drive, I believe, certainly early in the first quarter. And that also happened when they were on their own 20s. They hand off left to Peterson. Defense getting pass. Nobody there. Offensive onside end +5 is 0. That Zach Miller is a 6. So that's going to be a 5-yard gain for AP. Only his third carry of the game. Now, we're already 3 minutes into the second quarter. So that bodes well for Jay, as he has no other backs to really run the ball. He doesn't have to worry that much about AP's carries. Now he has so many. Handoff at the middle to Peterson. Nobody there, only one linebacker behind. So the box is in play. Offensive onside right guard, 7 of 2. And that's going to be a 7-yard gain in the first down behind Zane Beatles, who's a 5. Pretty solid run blocking for this Jacksonville line. I believe it's a 6 at left tackle, 6 at left tackle and center. 5's at the right side, 4 at left guard. Second tight end's a 6. So it's pretty nice blocking. Only the left guard 4 and the right tight end, Antonio Gates, is 0. Right now, you got first and 10 for Jacksonville. They're on 48. Flat pass left to Antonio Gates being double covered. 4 in the defense is incomplete. And Jay will take that because 3, of course, was a clean pick with the double team precipitating a 2-man reading. Obligatory good call from Jay to Dennis. Those flat pass interceptions are pretty scary because we know they can go to the house in a hurry. Second down and 10 for Jacksonville. Their own 48. Nice little drive. End run left to Peterson. Defense gets wrong. No one there at a 4 defensive end. This could be really good for Jacksonville. 6 is a 6-yard gain for AP, which is nice. AP's got some big runs on the edges, as Dennis would say, 2, 3, and 12, an 11 short gain on the end run. But a couple of things not that great. 4, 5, 8, +1, -1. But then he also has a 6, 7, and 9-yard gain in there. He'll be back in the NFL this year. I think the Vikings will be an improved team, possibly make the wild card. 3rd and 4 for Jacksonville at the Seattle 46. We are 4 minutes into the second quarter. This game being played at a nice, steady pace, easy to call. Playoff games, so guys aren't calling plays too quickly. Although Dennis doesn't mind. He'll still fire out his plays on offense. I think I've seen him play a playoff game in about an hour. Looking past Antonio Gates, nobody there. That's going to be wrong, I think, of the defense. They got 5 guys on the line, but they're not blitzing. I'm not forgetting how that rule works. I should probably brush up on those rules. It's certainly wrong right there. Receiver wrong on the defensive guard, 11-yard gain for Antonio Gates, the future Hall of Famer. Despite a 4-game PED suspension, I think Shannon Sharp is making too much of that. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville at Seattle 35. After all, it's not baseball. Jacksonville mixing it well on this drive. A lot of Adrian Peterson runs with a nice screen pass there. Glennon is now 5 of 11 for 75 yards to the big long touchdown to Josh Gordon. And right, Adrian Peterson, no one there again against the defensive end 4. And defensive end +2 or +7. And nope, cannot make the tackle. So it's a 7-yard gain. I talked in the pregame that, Dennis would probably be blitzing those outside linebackers into the end run area to try and stop Jay from attacking those defensive end 4s, especially with someone like Adrian Peterson. But Jay's been throwing flat passes. He's been throwing to guys who are covered by these outside linebackers. He's been running inside a little bit. He's mixing up nicely. So Dennis can't just kind of do whatever he wants and just, park his outside linebackers and then run. But he hasn't been putting them in there at all. And Jay pretty much did not run the entire first quarter, but he's running it now. Looking past Antonio Gates, full house blitz. The defense gets his passes, no one there. And with no one in the zone, it's an easy 9-yard completion from the rookie Glennon to Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates now 2 catches for 20 yards. And Jacksonville has a first down at the Seattle 19. This is turning into a very good ball game. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Seattle 10, Jacksonville 6. Tim Wright, the second tight end. I'm not sure what this routine is of rotating in all these second tight ends, but anywho, maybe because Zach Miller can go deep, but there's a play action pass to Josh Gordon, Foreman in zone. You want a receiver reading here. It's guessed wrong, but incomplete on Glennon's card at a 9. A receiver reading was a possible touchdown there. Of course, Foreman in zone against the good pass defense cards. That's also a possible interception I'm wondering now if Dennis posted the IP. 2nd down and 10 for Jacksonville at the Seattle 19, midway through the second quarter. 8:42 to go, pretty much midway. There's a short pass to Gordon again, 4 men in zone. No blitz is coming. Glennon's had good success with the dump off, but this time he gets a 5, incomplete on the defense with 4 men in the zone. And, that blocked extra point is killing Jay right now. It's 10-6. It would be 10-7, and he could tie the game with a field goal, but he can't tie the game with a field goal because it's not a 4-point field goal, and he's losing 10-6. 3rd down and 10 for Jay at the Seattle 19. Now, Jay can be a little conservative at times, I think. So is he going to throw it here, or is he going to say, I don't want to risk an interception and stuff like that? As kicker, I think, is only 2 to 9 and 12, so that's not automatic by any stretch of the imagination. Short pass, Josh Gordon, 1-man blitzing on the free safety blitz. No double teaming here, and he's only covered by a 4, but he rolls a 5 again on the defensive 4-minute zone is incomplete. And on 4th down and 10, it'll be a 36-yard attempt for Robbie Gould. I think it's 2 to 9 and 12 because I looked at it right before the game, but I'm not positive. And it is 2 to 9 and 12, and Gould delivers the 36-yarder. And we have a 10-9 ball game. The blocked extra point, the difference on the scoreboard right now. Jacksonville kicks one deep, 2 yards into the end zone. Now, Dennis might try and take this out with Dwayne Harris, but if he gets a 7 or an 8, he's going to be inside of his own 10. I bet he takes it out. He's a gambler. And he gets 8, 11 yards, and sometimes you go big and go home. Dennis says go big or go home. And this time he's at his own 9. But that was a good play anyway, because look at all the good yardage. Almost all the readings would have had him out past the 25-yard line, including a long gain and a 90-yarder and 2. So I agree with that call. You got to take a chance sometimes. Don't want to be too cautious sometimes. Defense showing blitz as Dennis is at his own 9-yard line. You're exactly midway through the first quarter. 10-9 Seahawks. 1st and 10. Here's a linebacker to Frank Gore. There's one linebacker there, but defense gets his pass. Offensive left guard 5-0. Uche Nwaneri could not make the block. He's a 4. Dennis is run blocking as a 6 at center, a 5 at right guard. The rest of the guys 4. So probably a little bit of a substandard run blocking line. 2nd down and 10 now. Defense showing blitz again. Neither Dennis nor I really focus on the run blocking in these modern continuous draft leagues, especially if you have a good passing game. Flat pass left to Roddy White. Defense doing a full house blitz, but it does not result in any pressure. And 6 on the defensive score. No men is 10 yards in the 1st down. That was a white die 5, so that would not have been a vacated zone if Jay had left his linebackers home. But hey, Jay's playing for the safety and playing for the sack, and he's had trouble stopping the offense of the Seahawks. This is a 1st down draw play for Frank Gore. Not one of my favorite plays. Jay called run, so it's only a 1 yard. So it's a 1 yard loss on the keyed column. Frank Gore would have been 4 yards on right, but Jay has been parking that inside linebacker and linebacker guessing pass, so you can see what Dennis was thinking. We're down to 5:42 to go in the first half. Seahawks 10, Jacksonville 9. Seahawks at their own 18-yard line. Long pass, Roddy White. Defense showing blitz. Blitz is a free safety and only one of the guy. White's covered by a 5. And you get a receiver reading, guess right, 7 plus 25 yards and a big completion from Russell Wilson to Roddy White. And there's a fumble on the play. Loose ball. I have no idea who gets it. It is Roddy White recovering his own fumble. He dropped it, and it bounced right back to him, and he rolled out of bounds. And the Seahawks have the ball at their own 43. You'll see the pass rush situation there was a 5 on an 8. It was a 1-39 sack. You got a 48. If he'd have brought more pressure, would have got the sack. But, hey, he's been showing blitz every play. And Dennis is not that great of a pass rush, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But, hey, Jay's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. And I guess he likes to do it. Long pass, Michael Floyd is double-teamed. So Russell Wilson wisely checks down to a secondary target for a 7-yard gain. Looks like Frank Gore getting the outlet to the left. Travell Wharton picking up Kevin Burnett on a 1-45 sack chance with a 96 random roll. Russell Wilson is 14 of 17, 156 yards and a touchdown. And Dennis will tell you that he is making skillful plays and clutch decisions. 2nd and 3 from exactly midfield for Seattle, leading 10-9 with 4.5 minutes to go. It's been all Russell Wilson passing in this drive. There's an off tackle left to Frank Gore. Defense against his right. There's a penalty on the play. Offensive onside end 5-0. It's a 5-yard gain for Frank Gore. But there's an offsides on Jacksonville. 5-yard penalty. Dennis accepts the penalty to save a carry for Frank Gore, but the result in yardage and down and distance is the same. So we have 1st and 10 for Seattle at the Jacksonville 45. 10-9 Seahawks. 4:12 to go, leading 10-9. As I just said, they'd love to get a touchdown here. Seattle kicked off to start the game. Linebacker Frank Gore, one linebacker there. Gore rolls snake eyes, big run, 27 yards, all the way down to the 18-yard line before he's brought down. Frank the Tank, 12 carries, 63 yards. 10-9 Seahawks, 1st and 10 of the Jacksonville 18. They can score a touchdown here and get a stop and get the ball back to start the third quarter. They could be well on their way, but there's a long way between here and there. Defense showing blitz, but now they're inside the 20, close to the red zone. Makes more sense, I would say. Flat pass right to Michael Robinson. They're all 5 men on line of scrimmage. There's a penalty on the play. Robinson catches the ball for 6 yards. I think it's his 4th catch of the game if it holds up. And the penalty is unnecessary roughness. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st down. Seattle at the Jacksonville 6. 1st and goal for the Seahawks at the Jacksonville 6. Russell Wilson, 15 of 18 for 163 today. Full house backfield as Monty Ball checks back into the game. Defense showing blitz, understandably. I bet we see a pass. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Faster running. I'll get 2 choices. Well, I'm going to look like some great genius, but I'm saying the guy passed. See what happens. 1st and goal for Seattle at the Jacksonville 6. Monty Ball's not that good. I'm right. Maybe a linebacker, Russell Wilson. So off tackle right to Frank Gore. Defense gets his run. Only one linebacker there, and he's only a 4. Gore gets a 1-yard gain on his own card. 2nd and goal from the 5. See, Dennis might run the ball a lot here. I mean, it's usually better to run the ball inside the 10 anyway. He'll probably pass too often there and get picked off too often. But Dennis might want to try and run the clock down a little more, make it harder for Jacksonville to score. But your first priority here has to be a touchdown. Call the plays that'll try to get you a touchdown to go up 17-9. Don't worry about the clock. It's not like there are 90 seconds left. Still 2:42. You know, if Dennis runs the ball 3 times and gets a touchdown, Jay will have time to do something with the ball. 2nd and goal, Seattle. Hell, if he scores quickly. Off tackle right to Monty Ball. Even gets his run again. Only a 4. Linebacker in the zone. There's a no-yard gain for Monty Ball, who at least doesn't fumble very much. Doesn't do much of anything else on right there, it looks like. 3rd and goal from the 5. As the clock runs down to 2:06. Jay has all 3 timeouts. Keeps them. 10-9 Seahawks. 3rd and goal from the 5. A big play here in the first half. Defense showing blitz. Dennis goes blocking back one, head back pistol. Wouldn't be surprised if he does a quarterback keep with Russell Wilson because that would excite him very much if that play was to result in a touchdown. He likes doing things like that with Russell Wilson. Emulating his real-life performance, Dennis would say. I guess you don't want that close to the goal line interception there, but it's not the Super Bowl, so I guess that's not a problem right now. Short pass, Roddy White being double-teamed. Russell, the muscle, fires it in. Again, hitting the right wrong double-teamed completion on his own card on a 9. A big 5-yard touchdown makes it 16-9 Seahawks. Here comes the extra point. Wilson, 16 of 19, 167, and 2 touchdowns. The extra point is good. Penalty on the play. We get a lot of penalties and too many penalties and extra points in Strat-O-Matic. As an offsetting penalty, so we get to repeat the wonderful extra point, which the NFL should probably just get rid of and give everyone 7 points. Snake eyes on the extra point is good. 17-9 Seahawks. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Big possession here for Jacksonville because they've got to kick off to Seattle to start the second half. So these next 2 possessions are big. What is Jacksonville going to do now? And what's going to happen when Seattle gets the ball to start the third quarter? Now, of course, we're in the final 2 minutes of the half, and you have a dangerous running back like Adrian Peterson. So everyone and their brother knows that Jay might try and run the ball with him. But Jay knows that Dennis is thinking that. Dennis goes nickel 3-3-5. It's only the rookie Glenn in that quarterback. So is Dennis going to maybe call a run? Is Jay going to think that Dennis is going to call a run and therefore maybe throw a short pass to Josh Gordon or a bomb? Or maybe do something safe? Off tackle left to AP. No linebackers there. Looking for a 2 or 12. Gets a 7 plus 3. You don't only need the 2 and the 12. AP's got 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Are first down yardage or more. Then he's got a plus 5, plus 6, plus 7. Basically, you have 13 bad units on there. Jackson lets a clock run down. 90 seconds left. Doesn't want to give Dennis any time to score if he fails. If Jacksonville fails to advance the ball further. Fails to get a new set of downs. Only 7 carries for AP so far for 33 yards. Was not used much in the first quarter. We used more as a decoy. Was used a lot more here in the second quarter. Defense going nickel 3-3-5 again. The old cat and mouse of Strat football. We all know it's either run with AP, is he not going to run with AP? Do I think the defense is going to guess run? So I'll pass it. Got a flat pass left to Wes Welker. I like that call. Defense guesses pass. Double teams elsewhere. 5 linebacker. And 6 on the defense is a 2-yard gain. And is there a penalty there or no? Just a little delay, a little hiccup in the animation, like the Matrix, when you get the deja vu. 3rd and 5 for Jacksonville. 1 minute to go before the half. They're at their own 25. Now, if he doesn't get a first down here, Dennis is going to call timeout. I can guarantee that much. I bet you we see a run with AP. It's a long pass to Antonio Gates. Only one guy back there. Gates is covered by 4. 8 on the rookie Glennon's card is incomplete. The rookie Glennon with 4 units of completion. It's a long gain on 4 and a plus 31 and 12. And we're going to have a punt there. It's a complete pass, so Dennis does not even have to call timeout. Dennis has a chance to get some points and the ball here. Here's the punt as it goes for the punt block. It's not going to be blocked. It's a booming 51-yard kick down to about Dennis's 24. Jeremy Curley, he's got a pretty decent card. Jay's at longer than 12, but the ball's going to bounce. And it takes about a 4-yard bounce in Jacksonville's favor, 3-yard bounce. And the Seahawks will take over their own 21. 1st and 10, leading 17-9, 45 seconds to go in the first half of this SSFA quarterfinal. How conservative or aggressive will Dennis be? I think he'll be pretty aggressive. I think you'll see an end run Russell Wilson. Because I think that's easy. Now, Frank Gore does not have the explosiveness of Adrian Peterson's card, so I don't think we're going to see any run calls coming out of Jay's defense. But he is standing around at a 3-4, kind of daring Dennis to do something. Maybe goad him into an interception. Short pass Luke Wilson against single coverage. 8 on Russell's card is incomplete. Russell Wilson has 20 attempts, perhaps, as a penalty, though. It is offsides on Jacksonville, so 1st and 5 now for the Seahawks. At their own 26, 37 seconds to go. They're going to need about close to 40 yards to even get into long field goal range. So Dennis probably doesn't want to be too risky with his play calling here. First and 5. End run left to Frank Gore. No one's there. Gore gets 8 on his own card. 4 yards. I just don't want to see Dennis wasting attempts with Frank Gore. He's already run the ball now 14 times. Don't want to see him waste attempts on a drive that seems unlikely to result in points. 2nd down and 1 for Seattle at their own 30. They use their first timeout. 30 seconds to go. And they're going to need about 35 yards in 22, 15, 18, in about 4 plays. So you got to find a way to get 9 yards to play. You'll get some yardage in bunches when the defense is looking probably for the pass. How about Aaron Russell Wilson? 2nd down and 1 for Seattle. Linebacker Russell Wilson gets 4 as a 5-yard gain for Russell up the middle. 1st and 10. That's a interesting play call. Didn't waste any of his end runs. That's probably why he's not choosing to run him there. I'd love to see. Well, that would have been an end run. It would have only been a 4-yard gain, so. Russell got a pretty good end run card, but it's not, Michael Vick or Bobby Douglas. But next year it will be. That'll be a very dangerous running card for Russell next year. Get a 7.2 rushing average this year, not including kneel downs. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. Dennis is down to 1 timeout with 22 seconds before the half. He's up to his own 35. Still needs 30 yards. But a flat pass and try and take advantage of all these 5s. And we get a white die 6 and something good. Off tackle left to Frank Gore. Offensive onside tackle +8 or +3. Gets the block from a 4. So it's going to be an 8-yard gain. And Dennis will probably have to call his last timeout. He could spike the ball. I might as well call timeout here. Spike the ball would have only given him 8 seconds left to get 22 yards. 1 play to get 22 yards. Theoretically now, if you do an end run or a flat pass or a bomb or whatever, you can get 2 plays in. Dennis now needs 22 yards to get into about a 2 to 6 field goal range. Defense going nickel 3-3-5. Dennis now going 3 wide pistol. So you're going to see a pass. Short pass, Luke Wilson must run for 4 yards for Wilson. Let's see if he gets out of bounds. I hate when this happens in the last 30 seconds of the half or something, but obviously the NFL, Russell will be running for the sideline. But here he was not able to. Dennis got to spike the ball. His only opportunity. He does spike it. There's 1 second left. This is a long last minute of the half, last 45 seconds of the half. And Dennis is going to have a Hail Mary if he wants it, or maybe a flat pass and get lucky. He's at his own 47, leading 17-9. Wilson, 3 carries, 15 yards to go along with the outstanding passing first half. Floyd can go all the way. Roddy White's got a dot. Count to the right, I don't know. Long pass, Roddy White. There's only one guy back there. Why would you only put one guy back there? 9 on Russell Wilson's card is incomplete. 10 would have been a long gain. Well, I guess Jay was going for the double teams, the multiple double teams, of course, instead of the 2-minute zones. That was my bad, Jay, for questioning that. And we're at the half, as that Hail Mary was incomplete. Obligatory good half between the two coaches. Jay mixing it up to say nice half. And here's where I check and make sure everything's going to go to my end. It is, or it certainly looks like it is. And we're going to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back, folks. I had to turn my air conditioner on. All right, guys, I'm back. It is a 17-9 Seattle lead. The Warriors are taking a very brief halftime break. Jacksonville won the opening toss. So Seattle's going to get the ball here. And that is just huge. I mean, their offense is really clicking right now. Russell Wilson threw some flat passes earlier. He's been hot with the short passes. He's had 2 big double-team completions on his own card. The flat pass he's been throwing against no men or throwing against undefended receivers at times. Frank Gore had a slow start, but really picked it up. Had a short gain, had getting 5- and 6-yard pops, had a 27-yard run up the middle. But almost all the plays have been called wrong. So, it's been a good job of, I can't say almost all the plays have been getting called wrong. That sounds crazy. That's not what I mean, but there's been good play calling by Seattle. And Jacksonville on the other end hasn't gotten as many good runs with Adrian Peterson as I think they could have given the opportunities. But we all know he's 1 roll away from a big touchdown. I feel like every time I call a game that AP plays, he runs like a 78-yard touchdown. And we're all set here for the third quarter. And it's going to be Jacksonville's kicker. I think that's Robbie Gould to kick it off. And we have possibly a little hang up here. Do you have the screen or are we stuck is what Jay is asking to Dennis and they're gray, so they're stuck. So we're going to exit out of this game and then get back in here in a minute. Halftime bug. I'm going to mute my mic to do this. Probably didn't need to mute my mic because I really hope I didn't click join game. If I click join game, they can't start the game. And I did that once before. It held up a game for like 10 minutes because I didn't realize that. I wasn't used to watching the games at that point. But I think I clicked watch game. Maybe not. I'll cancel out of there. So we might miss a play or something here due to human error on my end. Let's try and get this going again here. All right, I'm trying to join now. And there we go. Finally let me in. Okay, great. Just a little bit of hang-ups here with the visuals. I already rejoined Dennis, so don't tell me to rejoin. You should see that a spectator is in there. You should also know that I can't really type once I'm broadcasting. It's a long story. I will see if he figures it out and kicks off or not. I bet you that Dennis is going to wait numerous minutes. He should see that a spectator has joined. And he should go ahead because I'm the only spectator there is. I'm learning that as smart as Dennis is, sometimes he does not make good decisions regarding this, whether or not I'm connected and around the issues of my disability, which I have explained to him. Dennis, I have to stop when I mute my microphone to tell you I'm in the game. When you should already be seeing the spectators in the game. Come on. There you go. And let's wait for Tom. He says he usually needs a minute or so, even though he already said spectator joined. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Time for me to parade Dennis in game. Hold on, folks. Dennis has now been sufficiently berated by me. And we're waiting for the game. I feel badly for saying something hostile there, Dennis. So forgive me. I only require a little forgiveness because you should have known that it said spectator was joined. Come on now. This is not your first rodeo. Here's the kickoff down to the 3-yard line. It's a 25-yard return. I feel badly for Dennis. He was trying to be nice and understanding of my situation, and I just give him a constant stream of what's the word I'm looking for? Let's say gruff. Is it gruff? These media types are so touchy, as Jay says. That's right, Jay. There was a penalty on the kickoff, illegal block on Seattle. So that brought them back to their own 15. And it's first down and 10. For Seattle at their own 15. Short pass Luke Wilson. We've seen a lot of that. It's kind of a safe play. It's covered by 5. Not a great receiver. Not likely to be double teamed. So you keep all of Russell Wilson's must runs in play. I don't think he's been double teamed. I think he's a few catches. 2 catches, 18 yards. I think they're both big third down conversions, though. I could be wrong about that. I think he caught one of those 14-yard double teams. But that was an 8 incomplete in Wilson's car. We have 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks. Play action to Wilson. Defense getting run. They form in his zone. Receiver 8 is incomplete. You can see why he's not being double teamed. Boy, it's only 18 units on short pass wrong for us. Just starting tight end. Ugh. That is not what you're looking for. But 3rd and 10 for Seattle. They're on 15. Look, you got to throw to these guys who are not going to be double covered. Because when you throw into double coverage, you're usually screwed. 3rd and 10 for Seattle at their own 15. They could go 3 and out here. That'd be a big stop for Jay after I made all that big to-do about the first possession of the second half. Flat pass right to Frank Gore. Linebacker disappears. 4 is a 7-yard gain. And even Dennis, I think, will punt it on 4th and 3 from his own 22 with the 8-point lead early in the third quarter. It's a 51-yard punt for Matt Bosher. That's going to be down to about the Jacksonville 27, where one of their lackluster guys actually does not catch it, lets it bounce, takes a Seattle bounce, goes about 6 yards, and Jacksonville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 21. I can smell an Adrian Peterson fest coming upon us. I feel like I can smell it. We'll see if it materializes. A quiet first half for the future Hall of Famer, depending on how the media feels about his off-the-field problems. Pitch out left, AP. Defense guessing run. There's only a 4 defensive end there. 10 is a 4-yard gain for Peterson. Out to the 25-yard line. Makes it a 2nd and 6 for Jacksonville. AP's got 8 carries for 37 yards. Would have been a 9-yard gain. I'm wrong. Maybe Dennis will put the clamps on Peterson as well. Say, beat me with Glennon. Although it's easy to say that, but then when you got Josh Gordon and Antonio Gates covered by 4, and Glennon's a little better than you think. There's a linebacker for Peterson at the middle. Nobody there. Boxes in play. So this could be nice for Jacksonville. He hits the boxes, double boxes on the defense. Instead of a 9-yard, gets a 19-yard gain. AP all the way out to the 44. As Zeb would tell you, good to run those linebackers sometimes against these 3-4s. Or against anybody, really, is what Zeb would tell you. And Dennis has been kind of conceding it. Maybe he wants to say, hey, I'll give it a linebacker. Here's a looking past Antonio Gates. 1 guy there. A couple of blitzes on the line of scrimmage for Seattle. 10 and Glennon Carter is incomplete. So Dennis responds to those 2 Adrian Peterson runs. He knows that AP can easily get off by putting linebackers on the line of scrimmage guessing pass, meaning that it's going to be hard for AP to get off there because Dennis's card is going to be bad news. It's tough to run a draw with a good running back because the defense, is going to get run sometimes. Short pass to Wes Welker, 3-man in the zone, 1 blitz on the line of scrimmage. That's the outside linebacker, Tamba Hali, who's a 12. Receiver rating incomplete on Wes Welker. Guessed right. He has the maxed out reception card on short pass. So 22 units of completion, but 14 units of incomplete. And that sets up a 3rd down and 10 for Jacksonville at their own 44. So a promising drive may come to a sudden halt if they can't get a first down here. 3 wide for the offense, nickel 3-3-5 for the defense. The extra DB is a 4. He covers the extra wide receiver, Julian Edelman. 3 4s in coverage. Short pass to Wes Welker. Here comes the pass rush for Crowley, and that's a sack for Jason Worrells against Zane Beatles, the right guard. That is the weak point on this Jacksonville offensive line. And Dennis found it that time with a 2 on the wide die. And Donnie Jones will come out to punt again. It's a good one, a booming 55-yard punt. That's going to go inside the 10. It's going to bounce. And let's see where it goes. Just short of the end zone. It's downed as the ball dies in the animation at the Seattle 1-yard line. 55-yard punt takes a 7-yard bounce. And Dennis will have a 1st and 10 from his own 1. 4 minutes into the second half. Seahawks leading 17-9. The 99-yard touchdown always in play. 3-4 blitz being shown by Jacksonville. He sold out on 2nd down here last time and was beat for a flat pass, I believe, for 10 yards. Let's see what happens here. Jay does not have a great pass rush, but then it's not have great blocking. Linebacker Frank Gore, 2 linebackers there. Linebacker zone -1 to +3. Oh, my goodness. Linebacker in zone -1 or +3. Jarrell Freeman's only a 4, gets a white die 5, so it's a 3-yard gain. That would have been a safety. That would have been a safety on a white die 4. The tennis gets 4 yards. There's 2 linebackers in zone, but the defense did get pass. Gore has 16 carries or 18 carries for 79 yards. And it is 2nd down and 7 for Seattle, their own 4. Jay shows blitz again. Again, last time down there, I'm pretty sure it was a flat pass. It wasn't this close to his own end zone. Those flat passes by your own 3 or 4 can be dangerous. You can lose 3 or 4 yards, and you're looking at a safety. Everyone knows the looking pass. People like to throw it down here because you cannot lose yardage. So guys, defend that. Off tackle draw, defense gets the pass at Monty Ball, and 7 is a 3-yard gain for Monty. What a disappointing second season for the Broncos. But at least Dennis doesn't waste a carry here. And is unlikely to score and unlikely to get a run call, maybe. 3rd down and 4 for Dennis at his own 7. This is a big 3rd down. They're all big, right? In a playoff game that's still in question in the second half or in any game. Jay showing blitz again, 3rd and 4. Dennis has the run option here. I don't know what's going to happen. Frank Gore, the lone back. I should say behind blocking back Michael Robinson, but I think you know what I mean. So looking past to Roddy White. There's 1 linebacker there. Defense against his run. Defender X, incomplete, a +4. It's complete. 4-yard gain. Dominic Rogers Cromartie. No, it's incomplete. The animation misled me. Dominic Rogers-Kawani makes the play. It's a 5 incomplete pass. So it's going to be a 50-yard punt from Matt Bosher from his own end zone. So Jacksonville looks like they'll have a chance to return it for their own 43. Julian Edelman, the one back, and he gets a 7 as a decent 5-yard gain on the opponent PR cards. And Jay's got excellent field position from his own 48. But the Seattle defense has done a pretty nice job against this Jacksonville offense outside of one drive, really, I feel like. It just seems that way. It seems like it's been a while since Jay's had a few first downs and really threatened to score. That field goal probably came early in the second quarter. Pitch out left to Adrian Peterson, a linebacker there, but it's guessed wrong. He wants AP's card badly because that linebacker's a 5, and that could be really bad news for Jacksonville. And there it is. Snake Eyes, Adrian Peterson, once more in a game that I call is going to take it to the house. End run wrong, 2, plus 78, 52-yard touchdown for Adrian Peterson. Number 28 on the Minnesota Vikings, I believe. No penalty on the play. Makes it 17-15. Now Jay can go for 2 and try to tie up this game. 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and Jay will go for 2. I think that's the right move, probably. I'm just knee-jerking it. I don't know what I would do. Full house backfield. Patrick DeMarco and Denard Robinson. Here's where you really could use another back that could do something. Just somebody. Throw a linebacker with Glennon, because he's making a key on Peterson here. Or you could throw a pass with the rookie Glennon. I'll throw a pass. I'll throw it to Josh Gordon. It is an off-tackle left to Denard Robinson. 2 men there. Defense gets his pass and double teams Gordon. 4 on Robinson's scored. It's a 4-yard gain. 2-point conversion is good. And we have a tie ball game at 17 on the strength of the 52-yard touchdown from Adrian Peterson. But here comes a short kickoff down to the 10-yard line. And Dwayne Harris hits the seam running and brings it out 36 yards on a 4 all the way up to his own 46. What a weapon to have when you have a returner with everything virtually 31 yards or more. 2 is 90 yards, 12 is a long gain. And Dennis is going to respond to that touchdown by taking over at his own 46. Now, Jacksonville started their last drive at their own 48. They didn't need they could have scored from their own 22 with that AP play. And Jay says, didn't the first game go like that? I would score, and then Dwayne Harris would put you at midfield. Dwayne Harris is good. What are you going to do? First and 10 for Seattle at their own 46. Nice weapon for sure. Say that again. I traded him to Dennis a couple years ago because I was rebuilding, and he had a really good return year. I think we don't allow you to squib kick in this league unless it's near the end of the game or something. I don't remember if there's a squib kick restriction in Dad's leagues. Off tackle left from Monty Ball. No linebackers there. 8+11 in the box, and there was nobody there. But okay, I was waxing prolific. I must have missed the defensive alignment because he did not get the extra 10 yards. But it was an 11-yard gain for Monty Ball, who is now playing sporadically as you try and drag out Frank Gore's presence and make him last for the remainder of the game. But a big run there as we're in the middle of the third quarter. It's 17-17 in this SSFA quarterfinal, and it's a dandy if you're just joining us. Off tackle left for Monty Ball, deep against his run. Linebacker in zone, -1 and +4. That's a 5, and it is a 1-yard loss. Paul Puslesny makes the play. Second down at 11 for the Seahawks at the Jacksonville 44. And we got a real good game here. 2 veteran coaches. Only 1 game apart in the standings, only 4 points apart in their late season, regular season contest. It's a play action pass to Michael Robinson. Defense has 4 men in zone. Calls run, and it's incomplete on the defense's card. I think that's the one on the number 3 that is incomplete either way. Yes, incomplete with 3 men or 4. But still, the card looks more formidable with the 4 men in zone. Russell Wilson was red hot. He's cooled off here in the second half. Long pass, Michael Floyd. Nobody there. Defense guessing pass. Floyd covered by a 5 on 3rd and 11. Defender X a long gain. Will a white die 6 result in something big, maybe a touchdown? Let's see the animation. It is caught. 6 white die. Floyd going to the end zone. Touchdown. 44-yard touchdown from Russell Wilson to Michael Floyd. It was Tremaine Brock, only a 4. I had the wrong man covering Floyd. A 5 of the white die meant a long gain touchdown. Dennis, go big or go home indeed. Goes for the bomb on 3rd and 11. Gets the defender X against the 4, and now leads 24-17. Here's another short kickoff. This one to the 15-yard line by Ryan Lindell. And David Reed is going to take it out 25 yards up to the 40 as these men are avoiding the opponent kick return outside of that one Dwayne Harris one from his own end zone. They're getting good field position. Jacksonville with their own 40, 24-17. What a game this is turning into. Of epic proportions. Both men not defending, but former SSFA champions. They have that on the resume. Short pass to Josh Gordon. 3-man in the zone. Single coverage to cover by a 4. Defender extra short game. Will this 4 make a play? He does not. Gordon crosses midfield. A 15-yard pickup against Prince Amukamara. At first and 10, Jacksonville at the Seattle 45. 24-17 Seahawks. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Winner makes a semifinals for a chance to make the SSFA Super Bowl. I have a feeling one of these teams is probably going to make it the way they're playing, but we'll see. A lot of good teams out there. Handoff, Adrian Peterson left. 1 linebacker in zone. Defense gets his pass. 2, Adrian Peterson caught. He could go, and he does. AP does it every game I call. Oh, my goodness. 2 + 6. It's a 45-yard touchdown for Peterson. It's a flag on the play. Oh, no. It comes back. Oh, and Mike Lennon is injured. Oh, my goodness. Oh, a holding penalty on the offense brings back a 45-yard touchdown run for Adrian Peterson that would have tied the game. On another snake eyes reading, the rookie Glennon goes out for the game, and here it is, the playoffs, nighttime on your TV set, and the old veteran's going to come in, Carson Palmer. Crafty is what they're going to tell you. He's going to be crafty with those interceptions if you're not careful. When Carson Palmer comes to the game, I'm not that familiar with this card. I think there's a lot of interceptions on it, but some good long pass readings. So a little bit of all or nothing. He's got a pretty decent card. He's got a lot of interceptions. Short pass, Josh Gordon is being double teamed by the free safety on 1st and 20. But you get a dump off, and it's going to be complete for big yardage. That's to the back. Can he get 20 yards? There's 20 yards on the defense's card, and that's exactly enough for the first down. It was Adrian Peterson. I couldn't tell who got that. I should have known. Peterson, the only 0 blocker. Well, 20 with Gates, but he was double covered. So 20-yard dump off. As Dennis didn't blitz anybody. It was a D on the black die, 2 on the white die. 1st and 10, Jacksonville to Seattle 35. I need to get a look at this Carson Palmer card when I can, but you don't want to miss anything in this game. The way it's going, Palmer's card not to get pretty good flat. Defender X +2 or +8 to Antonio Gates. That's going to be an 8-yard gain. As rookie Kenny Vaccaro was a 4, could not make the play in a white die 5. Palmer's got a good, very excellent flat pass card. So could see some more West Coasting. We'll see what happens. 2nd down and 2. Jay's been pretty aggressive throwing the ball here. So in terms of not being afraid to go downfield a little bit. Linebacker Adrian Peterson, nobody there. 2nd and 2. No linebackers at all. Offensive right guard +7 and +2. There's another good block from that Jacksonville offensive line. Zane Beatles. He's a real nowhere man. 7 yards on the first down for the Jaguars at the Seattle 20. 3:54 to go. 24-17. Peterson, $115 on only 11 carries. He's got a whole quarter of carries ahead of him. He can run the ball like 17 times. Off tackle left to Peterson. Nobody there. From the Seattle 20. 8 + 11 on the defense. 1st and 10. No flag this time. Peterson up to 126 yards. Hello. On 12 carries. 1st and goal. Jacksonville, the Seattle 9. This is a great ball game with a lot at stake. And these guys are getting after it. 2 tight end formation. Tim Wright checks in as the 2nd tight end. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he got a better short pass card or inside the 10. I'll assume. You know what happens when you assume. Off tackle left to Peterson. Defense against his run. Only 1 linebacker there, and he's a 0. Linebacker in zone. Sure enough, that's a 4-yard gain. AP makes his way down to the 5. Vinny Del Rey could not make it. Could not make the tackle. 2nd and goal, Seattle. Jacksonville. I'll keep doing that. 2nd and goal, Jacksonville at the Seattle 5. AP the lone back from the 5-yard line. That's unusual in Strat-O-Matic. We all know he's not going to pass it. So I'm going to run key here and see if you beat me with Palmer, fine. Unless he does a linebacker with Palmer. I don't think that's a good call, though. Run key. Run key, Dennis. Let's see what happens. Short pass to Josh Gordon. Defense gets his pass, shows what I know. Carson Palmer from the Seattle 5. And this 72 would be devastating. Picked off 2 to 10. It's picked off in the end zone. There's no penalty. And the scoring drive ends with a touchback. 2 to 10 intercepted on 11. Did not like that formation, did not like that play call. And that ends the scoring threat. And Seattle takes over the 20 following a touchback. 1st and 10. If I know Dennis, he might go up top here. My mic is working fine. Big turn of events in that interception, but it's virtually a clean interception on 11, 2-10 on right. I bet it's even like 2-6 on wrong, although Strat's pretty low now. No, it's 2 on wrong. Here's a line book up the middle with Monty Ball. Gains 3 yards against Paul Posluszny. Beats him with a white die 6. 5 carries, 16 yards for Ball. And, of course, the defense, Dennis is home. You got a good defense with 4 men in short pass inside the 10. But you go to that formation with AP, you're almost kind of have to pass it. But it's all cat and mouse, I guess. 2nd down and 7 for Seattle. They're on 23, 1:48 to go. I was kind of hoping Jacksonville would score that touchdown, make it 24-24. Keep the excitement level high. But there is always the ebb and flow. 2nd down and 7 for the Seahawks. Monty Ball runs up the middle, loses a yard. As Jay is not just going to say, I'm going to concede the run. I'm not going to let you run it with Monty Ball because he's Monty Ball and not Frank Gore. And that would have been a 7-yard gain on wrong. Monty Ball's got a pretty decent card on wrong, actually. So you can't just concede the run to him. He's a big 3rd down. 3rd and 8 now for Seattle. They're on 22. 1 minute and 12 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. They're leading 24-17 in this playoff game. See, Michael Floyd's the 3rd receiver here, and he's covered by a 4. We saw that for the big 44-yard touchdown on the last possession. Long pass, Michael Floyd again single coverage against the 4. No one blitzing. Defense caught to be dangerous. Again, defender X a long game. Will the 4 make the play? Will Dennis have another big play to Michael Floyd? Here's the animation. It's caught by Floyd again. Michael Floyd just abusing Tremaine Brock on 3rd and long. Brock is only a 4. Another white die 5. Jay may need to adjust his defensive thinking. And, there's always a cat and mouse. He thinks they're going to double team Floyd, so he's not going to throw to Floyd. He'll double team elsewhere. It's so tough because you can't have everything. But that's 2 straight 3rd downs where Michael Floyd has beaten you on a bomb. The defender wrecked. You can throw bombs more easily. Flat pass left to Monty Ball is connect for 7 yards. Is complete for 7 yards, rather. Down to the Jacksonville 40. We're now in the 4th quarter. This will be the first play of the 4th quarter. Russell Wilson, 20 of 29, 256, 3 touchdowns. Michael Floyd's got a couple of big catches. And it's 2nd and 3 Seahawks, up 24-17 from the Jacksonville 40. Flat pass left to Monty Ball. 2 men in zone. Receiver gets wrong. It's incomplete because the defense gets run. Crafty called by Jay. Flooding the flat seat calling run. Thinking that Dennis is not going to go deep, and Dennis did not go deep. And the regular offense, he's got 5s covering Michael Floyd, but I think it's because of the completion chances that Kendall Wright gets put in the starting slot, and it allows you to put Michael Floyd in the backup 3rd receiver slot. I'd have to check my spreadsheets, but I know that Dennis looks at these things, so I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. 3rd down and 3 for Seattle, the Jacksonville 40. Big 3rd down. I can bet you dollars to donuts that Dennis is going to go for it if he doesn't get it, so. Short pass to Roddy White. He's not being double teamed. Receiver is incomplete. Now 4th and 3 for Dennis at the Jacksonville 40. I bet you he goes for it. Well, he does have a backup quarterback in there. Dennis is going to go for it. The punter's on the field here, but that's the animation. It's a long delay. He's thinking about it. He's going to go for it. I know he's going to go for it. He's probably going to punt it now. They settle this, but I think he's going to go for it. I'd be very surprised. This is you need a touchback here, Dennis. He wants to go for it. You see the long delay. You see the thought process by a touchdown. Do want to give him the short field? Do want to he's going to punt it. Caught me off guard. You don't want to go for the block here because you might get a penalty, or the guy might go for a fake. So it's going to be a coffin corner punt. And that's a touchback. That's a 57-yard reading. Looks like that's going to go, maybe not a touchback. Coffin corner. Yes, that's well into the end zone. And it's a net 20-yard punt. But Dennis decided to say, you know what? I'm going to maintain the field position advantage. He's got the backup quarterback in there. I don't want to make things too easy for him, but if Jay comes back and scores here, Dennis is going to be kicking himself over not trying to go for it there and put some more points on the board. And Jay remarks in-game, I have never seen you punt in that situation, DC. And Dennis gives the old smiley face. 1 minute into the 4th quarter, 2 veteran coaches have played a lot of games against each other, I'm sure. I'm not saying Dennis shouldn't have punted. I just know that he loves to go for it. And in that situation, I was surprised that Dennis even says me neither. He's never seen himself punt in this situation. First time for everything. And there's an LOL that we can all agree with. End run right, Adrian Peterson. Nobody there, but defense guesses run. The defensive end's a 4. Come on, AP, make up for it. Gets a 6+3 on his own card. It's hard not to root for a guy who's just going off when you're playing the game. Hard not to root for like Adrian Peterson when he's just going off. Every time I call a game, Adrian Peterson gets like an incredibly long touchdown. And he would have had 2 this game if not for a penalty. 2nd down and 7 for Jacksonville at their own 27. Peterson only has 14 carries. And we're in the 4th quarter, so he can run him all quarter. He was very conservative with him in the 1st quarter. It did not seem to hurt him. He's a looking pass to Wes Walker. Defense gets his run, but they got a linebacker 6 in there. You need Carson Palmer's card. That's bad news. Linebacker in zone X, a short gain. And that is Carlos Stanby saying, are you serious? You're throwing a pass my way? I'll just knock that away and move on to the next down, please. Incomplete on the 4 against the 6. Makes it a 3rd down and 7. Nothing wrong with the play call. I'm just showing how boisterous the defender is when he makes a swats away as a 6. Long pass, Josh Gordon, covered by 4. Single coverage, taking the page out of Dennis's playbook with a fumbled snap. Jacksonville picks it up. They're going to try and run with it, but not going to get too far. They lose 3 yards. Carson Palmer has a snap fumble number of 1.7, and he rolled a 1 out of 1,000. They lost 2 yards on the advance attempt. Now it's a 44-yard punt. He had a long pass, no man against a 4 with Josh Gordon. You like to have that play when you're down a touchdown. 44-yard punt is going to be fair caught by Dwayne Harris at his own 36. You would have liked to get a chance. You would have at least liked to get a chance to roll the dice there for Jay. But Strat said, no, soup for you. Snap fumble for Carson Palmer. And that hurts. You always hate that. You have a good play call, snap fumble, and you don't even get a chance. Yeah, sure, it was not a guaranteed touchdown, or it was even, probably at best 35% completed or something, but, you like to get a shot there for big yardage. Short pass, Roddy White with Foreman there. Defense gets his pass. Receiver right is +11. Roddy White's had a couple of good receptions on his card. And Seattle is already out to their own 47, out towards midfield. Seahawks 24, Jaguars 17. 12 minutes to go in the game in this SSFA quarterfinal. Winner makes the semifinal. Points on this drive would be huge, as it would make it more than a 1-score game. Monty Ball in the backfield as Frank Gore is resting up for the stretch run. Off tackle right to Monty Ball. Defense guesses run, nobody there. Offensive onside end 5-0. Luke Wilson could not use the force that time, as he is only a 4 against a 5. Luke Wilson, the overrated Strat card. Dennis and I were talking about him during last year's draft, and I was killing him. Dennis was, of course, praising him. Of course, now they have Jimmy Grant, so Luke can find a nice seat on the bench. 2nd down and 10 for the Seattle. I'm so vicious. To all Dennis's guys. 2nd and 10 for Seattle at their own 47. Well, it's easy to do. I mean, the Jets, Dennis doesn't have to be vicious. You just look at the standings. Short pass, Michael Robertson. Here's a nice double team by Jay. And Dennis been throwing flats. Intercepted 2-4 on Russell's card, but that's incomplete. Malcolm Butler not in the vicinity. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for Seattle. It was a nice double team. It was a dump off, actually, but still it was a nice double team. Because Dennis has thrown a lot of flat passes to M-Rob. He can catch a short pass. So now at 3rd and 10, you got 5s covering everybody except for Floyd. Just double team Floyd one time. Double team him. Come on, what do you say? He has 5s covering everybody else, and they let him throw it to 4 twice. He double teams Floyd this time. Flat pass left to Frank Gore, gets a receiver 6 of 6 yards. And sets up 4th and 4 for Seattle, the Jacksonville 47. This time, I believe Dennis will punt. 10:48 to go. He's going for the coffin corner. He might get a nice punt here, but no, it's going to be too far. 61 yards on the old 3 reading. That's, we'll see. That should be a touchback. This has to be a touchback, I think. Yeah, I don't think the coffin corner can take off more than 12 yards. If you roll 12, I haven't looked at that chart in a while. I think it was just a dice roll. I'm not positive about that, though. It's been a long time since I looked at that. Punter's not used to punting from there, Jay points out, as that's another touchback, but this is from the Jacksonville 47. So that's a little more. Dennis will punt in that type of situation. So far, he has not been hurt by that decision to punt. Let's see what happens. Seattle 24-17 leading. Jacksonville's got the ball. 10:30 to go. 1st and 10, their own 20. I feel another long run from AP coming on. I just feel it. Just feel like every time Every time I feel it, he seems to get it within a few minutes. So we'll see if that is forthcoming in the next few minutes. There's a flat pass left to Wes Welker. There is a man there. He's a 5. Defense has got 5 people in the line of scrimmage, so a possible sack is in play. Receiver incomplete. Flat pass right for Wes Welker. I mean, gosh, 25 units of a positive completion. That's the second time we've had a bad receiver right reading on Wes Welker. Short pass, he dropped one as well. Not what Jay needs here in this comeback attempt. It's been a close game throughout, so not a big comeback, but a comeback nonetheless. 2nd down and 10. They got the back quarterback, but it's Carson Palmer trying to do his Case Keenum impersonation for those of you who follow the Kansas City-Houston playoff game. Long pass Josh Gordon. There's the man there. There's 3 blitzes coming. Gordon covered by a 4, but the free safety is a 6, and it's a good pass defense card. And Palmer gets the dump off to Welker. This time, Wes holds on to it, and it's a 7-yard completion. And Jacksonville needed something, and they got a little something there as Kevin Booth picked up Jason Warlidge on a 1-45 sack. It was a 48 on the 1-100 reading, on the 100 percentile, the two 10-sided dies, if you will, for you old Dungeons and Dragons players. 3rd down and 3 Jacksonville. I bet you see Peterson running here, but I've been wrong quite a lot with my guesses the second half. 3rd and 3 Jacksonville at their own 27. See, that's so dangerous because of Josh Gordon. Because you're scared of Josh Gordon, and you got Adrian Peterson also. So it's tough to just see. I'm going to call run. Who cares about Gordon? Gordon's covered by a 4. 3rd and 3 for Jacksonville at their own 27. Jay taking a long time with this key play call. Dennis is aggressive, so you'll probably, I would not be surprised to see a run key or something like that, run all out blitz, something to make it harder. Well, that's the whole idea, make it harder on the offense, of course. What a brilliant insight that is. The defense wants to make it harder on the offense, yes. Flat pass right to Josh Gordon. There's a 6 there. Defense gets his pass. He needs Palmer's card. He needs a 1-2-3 here, or maybe a receiver reading. Otherwise, it's not going to be good news. Defender X, -4, -2. I hate that reading. I wish they'd get rid of it. You have nothing good that can come of this. And, hey, look, Omar made the play, so it's -4, but the guy's a 0, and it's -2 on flat pass 1-man 10. That's crazy. 4th and 7, and Jacksonville Jay will punt it. It's a 55-yard punt for Donnie Jones to the 2-back, Jeremy Curley. It looks like it's going to bounce again, but a lot of punts bouncing today. Whoa, that takes like a 10-yard bounce. So you get about a 65-yard net punt. Talk about flipping the field. That's a 1st and 10 for Seattle. They're on 12 on the 65-yard net from Jay's own 23-yard line. Only 9 minutes to go. Seattle 24, Jacksonville 17. This is a real good one. Winner makes the semifinals. We don't know yet who they'll play. Off tackle left for Frank Gore. 1 linebacker there. Blocking back +1 or -1. Emrob made the key block, so it's a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Gore back in the game now for this, as we're late in the 4th quarter. Has 10 healthy carries left. So good use by Dennis of Monty Ball in the 3rd quarter. In the 4th quarter, now he's got Gore for the home stretch. 8:24 to go. End run left, Russell Wilson. Defense guesses run. Defensive end +1 and +5. He's a 5. Chases down Wilson and makes the tackle. That's Carlos Dunlap. Has made a couple of nice plays over there tonight. There's only a 1-yard gain for Russell the Muscle. 3rd and 8 for Seattle. They're on 14. 7:48 to go. Huge play here. The tension has to be great. But you see a short pass to Kendall Wright or Luke Wilson. I'm going to guess he's going to be short pass to Kendall Wright. It is a short pass to Kendall Wright, double teamed and incomplete on the double team reading on a receiver. That would have been incomplete even on Wright, but still a great double team call by Jay. Neither Dennis or I issued the old GC good call because we all know it's a good call. 8 is a 49-yard punt. That's going to be down to the 37. Julian Edelman. I bet we're going to get a 9 here. Get a big return. Be huge. As 0-37, Edelman calls for the fair catch. And Jacksonville's got pretty good field position. They're at their own 37, 1st and 10, trailing by a touchdown, 7:12 to go. They got the backup quarterback, Carson Palmer, in the game. They got Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Welker, Gates, Zach Miller, Josh Gordon, your receiving targets. Playoff game to make the semifinal. Be 1 game closer to the Super Bowl. And run left to AP. The defensive end 4 is there. Defense guesses run. He wants the defense's card. Offensive onside guard, 803 is only a 4. So it's not a good block there by Kevin Booth. who made a key block on a passing attempt earlier, just a few plays ago, it feels like. So it's a 3-yard gain for AP, who's only carried the ball 15 times for 136 yards, however. 6:36 to go. The clock is very much a factor. Jay definitely wants a touchdown here. Hand off to Peterson at the middle. One linebacker there, but he's a 0. Defense calls run. Offensive center is a 6. That's a 4-yard gain, as Carolina's Ryan Khalil is outstanding NFL center, Pro Bowl caliber. It sets up a 3rd and 3. I think Jay had a failure to convert his last 3rd and short, relatively short. I mean, I know in the NFL, 3rd and 1 is really 3rd and short, but 3rd and 3 this time, 3rd and 4 last time. 6 minutes to go. Jay might go for it if he misses it here. I want to see a screen pass here with Palmer. 3rd and 3. Might go down the field. Short pass, Josh Gordon. Defense double team Antonio Gates gets his pass. Only 3 minutes, though. We need a completion here for Jacksonville. Needs it here. Receiver right is incomplete on the snake eyes. That was a long gain on 3. 4th and 3. Now, Jay's normally conservative. I bet he punts it. Defense playing pretty well. I've been wrong on these 4th down guesses on whether these guys are going to go or punt it, but Jay will punt it, it looks like. Yes. Donnie Jones comes out again. Seattle defense doing a really nice job here in the 4th quarter. They've shut out Jacksonville all half. 44-yard punt is going to be down inside the 20. Dwayne Harris will have a chance to receive it. 2 or 12 is a big return because Jay has that long gain on 12. And we get an 8 2-yard reading, all for the opponent PR. Really 2, 9, 10, and 12, a good return. So you got about a 1 and 4 shot there. 1, 5, 8, 9. Yep, 1 and 4 shot if you're Dennis. And 5:24 to go. Seattle leading 24-17. A sustained drive here would be great. A sustained drive that put points on the board would win the game with near certainty. 24-17 Seattle. 5:24 to go. Frank Gore up the middle on a linebacker. Defense gets his run. It's a 3-yard gain for Gore, who has 18 carries for 93 yards, or is it 83 yards? I'm not wearing my glasses, but he's had a very solid game. Been very effective for Seattle after a bit of a slow start early in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 7 for the Seahawks, 4:48 to go. Now, Jacksonville does not have a touchdown on the punt return, so if they do stop Seattle, they have to earn it for scrimmage. Let's see, I think I'm supposed to get a pick 6 or something, but you have to earn it from scrimmage. 2nd down and 7. Seattle taking a long time with this play call. 4:48 to go. Short pass, Roddy White. 4 men in the zone. Defense blitzes 1. 8, and Russell's caught is incomplete. Wilson has had an excellent game. 22 of 36, 273, 3 touchdowns, no interception. Could not find that one. Had a great first half. Not as good second half, but they always had the big bombs to Michael Floyd in the second half, so I really can't even say that. Just the completion percentage has dwindled. There's only a few completions, but 2 of them I think were for big touchdowns. So 3rd and 7 for Seattle. It's a huge play. 4:30 to go. Long pass, Michael Floyd being soloed to cover by the 4 again, but this time Wilson takes off to run with it, and he's going to get the 1st down. Russell Wilson, for the first time all game, using his legs in a passing situation when the offense really needed it. 3rd and 7 gets a must run for 8 yards and a 1st down, a huge one, as now there's only 3:54 to go. A fresh set of downs for the Seahawks. I remember calling Dennis's Somifa semifinal against Zeb. Short pass, Roddy White. He's double teamed. Here comes the defense. It's a sack. There's a loose ball. Jacksonville has it. A fumble of Russell Wilson, and he was hit and lost the ball. And Ndamukong Suh, 5 on a 7, 1-32 sack. It's a 31. A 4-yard sack down to the Seattle 21. Russell Wilson was hit hard, fumbled the ball. Kevin Burnett recovered it. 1st and 10, Jacksonville, the Seattle 21. Oh, my stars and garters. Tough break for Dennis. Jacksonville needs to go 21 yards to tie the game. Short pass, Antonio Gates covered by a 4. 1 blitz on, 3 men in zone. Carson Palmer gets a dump off. It's going to be a short gain. We're going to be probably inside the 10-yard line. Who is it? One of the receivers, it looks like. The flanker, perhaps. Wes Welker, 17-yard dump off. 7 on a 9 was only a 1-7 sack. You have 1st and goal for Jacksonville at the Seattle 4-yard line. What a turn of events. Josh Gordon, the play action, 4 men in zone. Defense gets his run. Defender X, a short gain. He's a 4. Touchdown, Jaguars. 2 plays, 21 yards following the sack fumble of Wilson. Extra point needs to be good for Robbie Gould. Defense goes for the block. And it's 2-11 good. 6 is good. Tie game at 24. Dennis is like, what the heck is going on? Oh, Dennis, I feel for you. Touchback on the kickoff. Dwayne Harris's skills will not be put to use. There are 16 units of touchback on Gold's card. A little less, I think, than most, but I don't know that for sure. I have not examined that, among other things. And we have a tie game, 24-24, SSFA quarterfinal. Winner makes the Final Four. Dennis Crowley with the ball. His Seattle Seahawks at their own 20. I think that was the first turnover from the Seahawks. Off tackle right for Frank Gore. Defensive nose tackle, +4, +9. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle, but there's an offsides penalty on Jacksonville. So it's 1st and 5 for Seattle at their own 25. 2:24 to go. They want to drive the length of the field and win it right here. Michael Floyd's got a couple of big touchdowns. Those were against the extra defensive back 4. Andrew on left, Frank Gore. Defense guesses run. 8 on Gore's card is no gain. And there's a fumble again. Oh, my goodness. Jacksonville recovers it again. Oh, Dennis. Oh. What is going on? There's a penalty. And it's against Seattle. So it's a turnover. Frank Gore has only a 6.0 fumble chance. Guess right. Out of 1,000. Gets a 4. 2 very unlikely fumbles in the last 4 minutes. Jacksonville now has the ball at the Seattle 25, 2:06 to go. Tied at 24. This is crazy. Oh, my goodness. Is Dennis' season going to end like this? Off tackle left to Adrian Peterson. Defense gets his pass. There's nobody there. AP gets 9, 6 yards in his card as the 2-minute warning sounds. We have a 2nd and 4 for Jacksonville. The Seattle 19. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. 24-24. 2 very unlikely fumbles in the final 4 minutes of this game are possibly dooming Seattle's season. Oh, this is crushing. Crushing. Oh, my God. 2nd and 4, looking past Antonio Gates. 2 linebackers there. Defense gets his pass. Dennis needs at 3. Gets a 4 in the defense, incomplete with 2 men. 3 was an interception. Dennis desperately hoping for that 3 there. The incomplete pass stops the clock. 1:52 to go. Both teams have 3 timeouts. 3rd and 4, Jacksonville, an epic ball game. From the Seattle 19, they're going to run it with Peterson. Carson Palmer's in because Mike Lennon was injured. Don't want to risk an interception here. Short pass to Josh Gordon. 3 men in zone. Gordon covered by a 4 only. 5 on Carson Palmer's card is a clutch completion. 13 yards. Palmer's got 11 units of it. 3, 5, and 6. And it's a 1st down, Jacksonville, a huge one at the Seattle 6-yard line. Jay took the risk of throwing a short pass for Carson Palmer and was rewarded. I mean, he can run 3 plays. You want to get a touchdown here. I'm telling you that much. The way this game is played out. Linebacker Peterson, defense gets his run. Full house 2 tight end formation. Everybody in. 5 and Peterson's card is a 1-yard loss. Guessed right. Peterson's fumble number was 21.5 on that linebacker with 2 linebackers in zone. Defense does not call timeout, it looks like. 1:15 to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd and goal from the 7. Full house this time, no double tight end. Says Josh Gordon is split out to the left against that corner 4. Prince Amukamara, who's a 5 next year. Off tackle left to Peterson. Defense double team. They have 2 linebackers there. This is offense versus defense. My card versus your card. 7 and Peterson's card is a 3-yard game. We have a penalty, which is offsides. So that pushes Jacksonville back to the 12. Would have been a 3rd and goal from the 4. But it does use up a little bit of time. No, I don't think it did. I think it was a 1:15. So I don't think the clock even ran there. I'm not sure. Might have been 1:22, I don't recall. 2nd and goal from the 12. 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver formation. Nickel 3-3-5 for Dennis' defense. Perhaps looking to run key out of it or just get a run and call out of it. Trying to go Jay into a simple play call. Might see a looking pass. Here's a linebacker draw to Carson Palmer. Defense run keys Adrian Peterson. So, but it's still, because you ran a draw play, it's -2. It still gets right. Because should have just ran a straight linebacker there for Palmer, who, by the way, had a 63.6 fumble number on that. So I might want to put that one, I want to take that one out of the playbook. 3rd and goal from the 14. Seattle uses their 2nd timeout, 1:07 to go. It looks like they're going to force a field goal attempt. Now, this is only 2-9 and 12. This is not a short field goal. And as I saw the Oakland game last night, even a short field goal might not be a short field goal. Sebastian Janikowski had a 2-11 blocked inside the 10 with 2.5 minutes to go to end Oakland's comeback attempt. They still would have had to recover an onside kick. 3rd and goal from the 14. Jacksonville goes 2 tight ends. I bet they're going to run it and force Seattle to use a timeout. I don't even kick it to Dwayne Harris for 290 yards and 12 long gain. But that previous play call, the run draw, would have been no yards anyway. But the run draw with Carson Palmer didn't like that one too much. 3rd and goal from the 14. But Jay it's managing the clock very well here. So linebacker to Peterson, only one linebacker back there. It would be a touchdown on the defense. The guy's a 6. Defensive nose tackle plus 7-yard touchdown. But that is Dontari Poe's massive frame. And he is the 6. So it's a 7-yard gain for Peterson. Seattle uses their final timeout. 4th and goal from the 7. It's going to be 2-10 at least for Robbie Gould to take the lead for Jacksonville with 52 seconds left. Gould splits the uprights. It's good. A 24-yard field goal, 27-24 Jacksonville, 52 seconds to go. Seattle has no timeouts, but Dwayne Harris is back there. 2 or 12 would give Seattle the lead almost certain. Well, would certainly put Seattle in good shape to at least tie the game, but instead they get a touchback. He needed a big return there, gets a touchback. Robbie Gould got 2 straight of those. 16 touchback units out of 36. So Dennis is going to have to go about 50 yards here to get a field goal attempt. 52 seconds left. No timeouts. Dennis operating out of the pistol. 3 wide. Michael Floyd, the 3rd receiver. The defense goes nickel 3-3-5. I thought you might see a dime here. Dime 3-2-6. Let Dennis throw looking best. Short best. Michael Floyd's double team. This time is incomplete. 8-9 would have been the plus 14 that Dennis has hit a couple of times tonight. 27-24. Jacksonville over Seattle following 2 unlikely fumbles in the final 4 minutes, deep in Dennis's territory. This would be a crushing loss. He needs a miracle comeback here in the last 45 seconds. Well, he only needs 50 yards to get a field goal. He's got no timeouts left. Does not have a lot of big play capability on the ground either. So he's going to hit something on Wilson's card, or maybe it's like a dump off 30-yarder, or dump off 16, 20-yarder, or a long gain. Luke Wilson can't go deep, so they've got 3 guys that can go deep. Kendall Wright, I don't think is that good at it, so you might see a little double. I would double team Floyd with the safety, double team Roddy White, the right linebacker, slide the middle linebacker out, drop Floyd's man to the long pass, and make him throw to Kendall Wright. Long pass, Roddy White, 2-man in the zone, no double coverage this time. You have to get Wilson's card. Could get a must run with a great number. 8 on the defense is incomplete. Also would have been incomplete on the offense. 7 was the clean pick. But Dennis has no choice now but to hope for an unlikely long pass completion. This is just a crushing defeat if Dennis does not win this game. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to lose like that. 3rd and 10, Seattle. At their own 20. 37 seconds to go. I called Dennis's semifinal game, I think, in Samifa. There's a short pass to Michael Floyd, double teamed, and that's incomplete on Russell Wilson's card. Would have been a must run if he threw elsewhere, which may not help him because he's not going to get a bounce probably. Strat probably needs to address that somehow. 4th down and 10 for Seattle. This is it. Make or break. Maybe we'll see a huge completion here. A miracle comeback after a disastrous couple of minutes. Long pass to Kendall Wright. It's double teamed. This is not looking good. He's a dump off. 9 on the defense. There's no flag. Incomplete with 2 men. Ball is turned over on downs. 22 seconds left. Jacksonville has it. They're going to run out the clock, and they're going to win on 2 fumbles in the last 4 minutes. One a sack fumble, the other one on Frank Gore and a 6.0. They recover both fumbles. They go in to score a touchdown and a field goal, and they beat the Seahawks 27-24. I don't think I will look to Dennis for a post-game interview. We're not professionals. This isn't, Pete Carroll sitting outside the locker room after the Super Bowl having to answer the reporter's question. This is just that's a terrible way to lose a playoff game. Up until that point, it was a great game, and it was a great game regardless. Up until that point, it was a great game. But Jay writes in 2 cheesy fumbles at just the right time, obviously. And that's what we were talking about with that thread earlier in the season in Samifa. guys know when they get great luck. We think Jay's going to sit there and say my great coaching caused a sack fumble and a Frank Gore 6.0 fumble out of 1,000. Jay did a real good job. These guys both coached a great game. This was a great game. Jay could have stopped Dennis there and gotten a punt and come down for a touchdown in the final 2 minutes and tied the game. That could have happened. But to get the sack fumble and then to follow it up with the 6.0 fumble on Frank Gore, oh, that's crushing. This game is going to haunt Dennis for a while. This game would have haunted me for a while. I'll tell you that much. Oh, boy. I don't even want to do a recap. I hate to see a game end that way. Jay played real good. Both these guys played real good. But sometimes it's not the turnovers, but it's when you get them. And in a game like this, when a team loses 2 fumbles in the final 4 minutes and they're both unlikely and they're both deep in their own territory, you have no chance of recovering. What was Dennis supposed to do? He held them to a field goal the second time. And, then he had 52 seconds and no timeouts. So that's a very tough situation. Let's look at the stats here. I think they're probably going to favor Seattle at least a little bit. 391 to 318 in yardage. But, of course, the big turnovers. As Seattle ended up -1 in turnovers. Seattle controlled the clock for nearly 34 minutes. Russell Wilson's stats came out a little more negatively because he was firing bombs in the last possession, but he finished 22 of 40 for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Had 5 carries for 24 yards and a big must run for first down late in the game. Had the sack fumble. AP had 19 carries, 152 yards and a long touchdown. Had another one called back. The rookie Glennon was 8 of 20 for 101 yards and a touchdown. He will be back for the semifinal. Carson Palmer was 7 of 12 for 65 yards, a touchdown, and an interception in the end zone in relief. Frank Gore, 19 carries, 83 yards. Roddy White, 7 carries, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Seahawks. Michael Floyd, 2 catches, 75 yards, and 1 touchdown for the Seahawks, both against that extra defensive back 4. On long passes, no men, 3rd and long. Defender extra or long gain against the 4. Josh Gordon, 5 catches, 69 yards for Jacksonville. Robbie Gould was 2 of 2 on field goals. Ryan Lindell, 1 of 1. Donnie Jones averaged 53.4 net yards a punt for Jacksonville, which helped. Dwayne Harris only had 2 kick returns for 47 yards. It seemed like more than that. But that is just a soul-crushing loss. And if it was me, the ratings file comes out today and you lose a game like this. You don't want to deal with any strat for at least 5 days. Uh-oh.
How do?
And here we have him. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a rough loss.
Yeah, it was all right. You have to take.
Hold on, Dennis. And here we have with us in an epic show of good sportsmanship, uninvited, but he just showed up, Dennis Crowley.
Well, win or lose, I always like to come on this and talk about the game.
Well, you're a better man than me, Gunga Din.
I think I just got a little too conservative there at the end.
No, I think what happened was that you fumbled the ball in a very unlikely fashion twice in the last 4 minutes. I don't think you were throwing a pass down the field when you got the sack fumble, so that's not conservative. And then Frank Gore's fumble numbers is 6.0 with the guy on an end run right. So that is hardly conservative. That is whatever the opposite of. That's normal play calling, and you got really screwed with terrible luck,
But that's what I'm saying is that you take the good and the bad with Strat. I had some good luck too. I had that big run called back from a penalty, and there's just other things that you have to look at. It's not just one play that does it, but Jay. 2 things. Jay was calling run, otherwise that Gore fumble wouldn't have been a fumble. The second thing was he double-teamed the correct receiver, and without that, if you look at the the sack chance, he barely made it. Without that double team, that wouldn't have been a sack. So 2 good play calls by Jay resulted in those turns of good luck for him, bad luck for me. So
well,
credit's due.
Sure. Well, there's no doubt that that sack fumble. I think he got up by 1 number, and so you're right. If it was not a double team, that would not have been a sack. But even with the correct double team, and even with the run call, it was a 6.0 fumble chance, and getting the sack at all, much less the sack fumble, was not highly likely. So you saw, and then not that, but you suffered not only one of those plays, but 2 of those plays in the last 4 minutes. Look, you and I have been playing this game a long time. We've probably played well over 1,000 online games easily. So we've seen a lot of things, and we know, like you just said, hey, that's Strat. These things happen. You take the good with the bad. But having said that, deep down we feel that way. But having said that, to go through a playoff loss like that, is really, really, really difficult. I would be despondent and inconsolable for the next 3 weeks. I would not want to play a Strat game. I would not want to look at anything for 5 days. So I mean,
I'm the opposite. I want to get on to my next game, just put it behind me, and you're going to lose. Eventually, there's only going to be one team that's happy at the end of the year. So I mean, this team was good, but it wasn't a great team that I had by any means. 4s on the defensive end, not a lot of pass rush outside the linebackers. So it's still a work in progress, and those 4 cornerbacks, the 4 cornerback and the 4 strong safety, are very susceptible to big plays. Jay hit me twice with big plays to Gordon, and just the way it goes, that's such a hard. The biggest thing in this game, that Adrian Peterson card, such a difficult card to stop. You have to call run at times. You can't just call pass all day. And even with that, I thought I called. I had him shut down pretty good. He still averaged like 10 yards a carry in that game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I commented early in the game that I swear it seems like every time I call a game where Adrian Peterson's playing, he runs like a 75-yard touchdown, and then sure enough, a few minutes later, he ran a 1 touchdown, and I have to listen to the broadcast again, but I think I even said. I have a feeling it's going to happen soon. And then before his second 1 touchdown, I said I have a feeling he's going to go up for another one here. And he got it, but it was called back. So, if you're playing against Adrian Peterson and I'm calling the game, just know that it's 7-0 to start because he's going to get like a 73 a touchdown. I mean, we're talking multiple leagues. Battle Royale, SSFA. Maybe you ought to win playoffs. Didn't somebody have Adrian Peterson maybe in the ought to win playoffs? I don't remember. But
no, and then I had him in the championship game. I had you call in my league.
Oh, okay, yeah, and it just seems like clockwork for that card to do that. For some reason, when I'm calling the game, and look, this was up until the final 4 minutes, up until those 2 stupid fumbles. And I know you're taking the high road and saying what you are. I mean, and as Strat coaches, we do have to look at it that way because because you are going to get the benefit sometimes, and other times you're going to get the negative, and that happens every now and then. But that was a tremendous game. At 24-17, you have no idea. I mean, and I think it was one of my better play calling broadcasts because the game was so good. Because I did a little pregame, so I was focused. I looked over the teams. I knew the teams pretty well. And look, you got 2 guys, SSFA champions, veteran coaches, fairly balanced teams that were 1 win apart in the regular season. That played a game decided by 4 points in the final quarter of the season, and then they were involved in this epic struggle. And you want Adrian Peterson to get a 1 touchdown in that game. That's what he's supposed to do, and he got the one to tie the game, but then you were beating him with those bombs to Michael Floyd in 3rd and 10. I'm like, he's the only guy covered by a 4. Don't leave Michael Floyd out there.
Is he going to double him? He can't just keep leaving him open. But sure enough, time and again, he was open. So
yeah, you did. You hit him back to back, and I know that's still cat and mouse, but you know me, I'm going to make you beat my 5 or a 6, especially
right.
Roddy White and Kendall Wright are not that great long pass. So you got to throw short pass into 4 men against a 5 and beat those guys. I'm not going to give you Michael Floyd against a 4. But despite that, both you guys called a great game.
It was fun.
There was so much.
What did you think of the 4th down call? Should I have gone for it, or were you happy?
Yes. When you were up by a touchdown and you had 4th and 3 at his 40, you should have gone for it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'm not saying everybody should have gone for it, but Dennis Crowley goes for it there.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
That was the strat gods paying me back for going for it without. I mean, not going for it. That's
I just felt like it's not a no-brainer, but because you go for it so often, you're not one of these guys who's like uncomfortable going for it. And if you miss it, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? But I just felt like, and you're so good at going for it, you get it so often. I felt like that if you went for it there and you got it, you're going to score a field goal and probably win that game. Even though your kicker kind of sucks for a minor kicker.
I just thought maybe with his backup quarterback in, Carson Palmer, I would get another interception. So I was playing it a little bit more conservative than I would have. But it didn't happen. And in hindsight,
didn't hurt you, though.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt you because, you stopped him and he punted, and then you had to punt and you stopped him again. Look, you had the ball, Dennis. You had the ball at 3:52 to go at your own 20. And you gave a sack fumble. I mean, Wilson is low turnover. And you're playing against the average pass defense cards, and you've got Frank Gore. You didn't do anything wrong. You just got screwed by the strat gods, mostly because it was 2 turnovers. You get the 1 turnover, it's bad enough. You get the 2, and the 1's on a 6.0.
He had an interception too, so it wasn't like the turnovers were right there, -1.
Yeah, but he had an interception throwing a short pass from the 5 with a guy who's 2 to 10 on right, and throwing it to 4 men against a good.
But that was in my end zone. So
I know. But it's 2. It was almost a clean pick.
He could feel that he could have got points there. So
but it was almost a clean pick. But you guys both called it a great game. There was so much diversity of play calling on both sides of the ball. So many good gambles. So many times where it's not like this was not nobody's standing around a defense. Nobody's running the same offensive play over and over and over again successfully. So I mean, if you look at the mix-ups that these guys did and the next level of thinking, that was as an experienced track coach myself. As I've been calling these games, I don't mean to put anybody down, but I've been calling these games. I don't get a lot of games. I feel like where both guys are really coaching great. There was a battle royale game where David Padgett was playing somebody in the playoffs, I think, and they both, or maybe it had to be a playoff game, and they both, maybe playing Paul, I don't remember, and they were both coaching up a storm, and I felt like that was the case tonight, and the game was close. It was a great game. So a great game to call. I feel terribly for your team, but like you said, the team was not, it wasn't your best team, but the team was good enough, and your defense was playing really well.
I think this is one of those teams where you could beat anyone or you could lose to anyone. So that's what happened.
I have to admit, I was very concerned that I was going to play you in the postseason, which you thought was going to happen. Early in the season, you're like, we're going to play.
We could have if
easily could have.
One today, Baltimore pulled off the upset. It would have been you and me in the semifinals.
So, look, that was a great game. You did not deserve to lose that way. I mean, I would have rather you get stopped, you punt, Jay comes down the field, scores a touchdown, then let's see what happens at 24-24. Then if you lose, okay, I lose. No one likes to lose that way. I know you're being a big man about it. And Jay, of course, was very magnanimous. And both you guys coached great games. And Jay was close enough to take advantage of that. By not letting the game get carried away, and he played with good fundamentals. And Jay's a real good coach, and that was a great game to watch. It was a great game for you guys. Both did a great job coaching. So I'm going to give you both a round of applause.
That was the key. If I could do it over again, that's the one thing I'd change.
What would you change?
The 4th down call. I should have gone for it. Obviously,
it's hardly a no-brainer. The book. The classic football move there is to punt the ball. Yeah. But we know that it's usually best to throw the book away. But especially when you're playing strat. But there's nothing wrong with you punting there. Yeah. It was not a bad move. It was just uncharacteristic for you. Yeah. If I was you, I would have gone for it. But then again, maybe if I have Russell Wilson, he's not that good flat pass. Maybe I wouldn't have gone for it. Now, I'm thinking I got Peyton Manning and Marshawn Lynch. I'm going to go for it, But if I Russell Wilson,
that's the other thing too. Is I looked at my offensive line. I'm like, if I'm going to need a run block here, I'm not going to get
offensive right guard +7 or +2.
Right.
You missed out on the measurement. You only get 2 yards in the 4th and 3. So there's nothing wrong with punting it there. I just feel like with your personality and the way you play, if I was like, come on, Dennis, go for it. I think you listened to the broadcast. I was yelling at you to go for it.
No, I'll listen to it tonight or tomorrow. But thanks for calling the game, and I'll try
to. And you know what? If you want to do a strat ratings show, we can do one. I don't know if you feel like doing one tonight. If it's too late, later on or something. But let's stop this.
Probably not tonight.
Okay, that's a good move. Let's okay, so let's stop this broadcast. I gotta eat some dinner and finish with my girl early. And Dennis, thanks for coming on. It was a great game.
Congratulations to Jay. Nice job.
By the way, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the St. Louis Rams. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers will play the full game despite Case Keenum's great showing. No quarterback controversy in Kansas City that I can hear of.
Cool.
Now, I am hoping to be able to call that game. There's a chance I might not be able to. Will you be able to call that game if I'm unavailable, Friday night at 9 p.m.? Or will you be able to call it with me if I'm home?
No, that's date night with the wife, so I will be around Friday night. So
House Crowley has certain rules and regulations that must be followed.
Jawohl.
Otherwise, order descends into chaos.
Ich bin ein Ausländer.
Exactly. You don't want that.
Okay.
All right, Dennis. See you later. Great job. Take care. Bye-bye. So, all right, guys, that was Dennis Crowley doing a manly job of showing up and discussing the soul-crushing 27-24 defeat by 2 unlikely turnovers in the last 5 minutes against Jacksonville Jay in what was a tremendous game. I hate to see it end that way. It was a tremendous game before those final 4 minutes, and it was still an excellent game all around. But you watch like the first 56 minutes of that game before those 2 fumbles. Great game, great coaching throughout, including the last 4 minutes. You know, it wasn't like Jay coached badly and won. So just a great job. But so I'm going to run. I'm going to eat some dinner, try and have an early night with one of my helpers. And we'll see you real soon, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, hopefully. I'll be able to call that Kansas City-St. Louis game. And if I can't, well, Dennis is date night, but hopefully I'll be able to call that game. So Jay advances to the semifinals. He is, I think, the 8th seed. Okay. So Cincinnati still is hosting Baltimore. So Jay is going to either go play. Well, we don't know what's going to happen in Kansas City, St. Louis. There's still too many games to play to really figure out what's going on. But he's the first road team to win in the quarterfinal. I didn't check out the wildcard round, which road teams won. Kansas City had to have been on the road. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they went to Houston. That's right. But anyway, exciting playoffs unfolding. This was a tremendous game. My heart goes out to Dennis to losing that way. That is soul crushing. I would be inconsolate. You probably would not want to hear me talking in a post-game interview with that if I had lost that way. But great coaching job by both guys. Jay got the big breaks at the end, but it was certainly worthy of winning by his coaching job. And I look forward to more action. Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I have to make sure I'm home for this one, as this playoffs is moving along. And some really good games and enjoyable games being played. I'm having a lot of fun even watching these games, which I never thought would be the case. I was never a guy to watch a Strat game. But calling them is fun. Watching them has been fun. And I hope anyone who listens to this broadcast enjoys it. I'll post it imminently. This is Tom signing off. A lot of shows heading away with the new ratings file coming out. The rookie drafts around the corner. The off season getting ready to start. I'll be in touch. Adios.